Hello and welcome to round 9 of the Reykjavik Open. It is the last round of the tournament and Mr. Zibbit here, look at him. What's happening today?
It's business time, it's the last round.
Here come the man in black.
Galaxy Defenders.
Ingvar booted and suited. Yes, the commentary there is excellent. Hello,
Booted.
business
No,
time.
boots.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, hello to everyone in the chat. It's 1 p.m. local time and we've already had a result on board 1. I didn't even see you show your boots. So it's on replay. We had a result on board 1. The game between the two Romanians, Parligras and Lupulescu, ended in a draw. It was quite a friendly draw. Whether that was surprising or not, I'll leave up to you. But what that means, and there we see the empty board, they finished maybe half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, something like that. They played for over an hour, reached a draw on rook ending, and shook hands. What that means is it leaves the way open for none other than Gawain Jones, because he's the third player out of the 3 leaders on 6.5 out of 8.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, did we tell the people?
Yeah.
The standings before the round.
So
yeah.
absolutely. So the 3 leading pack, the 2 Romanians, Parligras and Lupulescu, and Gawain Jones. So if Gawain can beat Erwin Lamy, he will win the tournament, sole winner. He will be 2700 on the May list and England #1. So a lot at stake today for Gawain Jones, and we see him there on camera. And without further ado, let's bring up his game. The Fuchsia is saying,
And
has Zibbit lost the bet?
Come on.
Come on, give him some credit.
We would also
Credit
have
where credit
a
is
massive
due.
tie for
Yes.
first if Gawain doesn't win. Let's say he draws. Then already have 3 people on 7. And we could have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No.
But he's not going to win.
No.
So 9
Yes, so
potential people tied.
I was saying to Stilly, my prediction is that we're gonna have a 4-5-way tie.
Mm-hmm.
This is my prediction.
Okay, so the main game that we'll probably spend our most attention on will be Gawain Jones against Erwin Lamy. Gawain Jones, the #1 seed.
By the way, someone is saying the no draw rule should especially be enforced in the last round. Well, there's nothing to do. They played 30
They played
moves.
30. We have a 30 move.
They reached a draw
Row,
ending. I mean, there was nothing.
There are, yeah.
You're looking sharp, says the Fuchsia.
Thank you, the Fuchsia. Yeah, we'll focus most of our attention on this game. Erwin with black, of course, usually very solid, former winner of this tournament. And we have an
It's
Italian.
so early in the day that you can get me with any silly puns. Gawain, Galouz, Gadraw.
Gawain, Galouz, draw. Wow. Yeah, that was actually a good one. Do you think he will?
And I've never heard
Gawain,
it. I've known
or-
Gawain for
Yeah.
like, what, almost 20 years. I've never heard or read this, so.
So it seems like, yeah, Gawain wants to just get a position with the pieces on that he can play on for a while and see what opportunity arises and what happens on the first board. But now already the first board has been resolved, so he knows what he has to do. And A5 by black. We've already seen this in the tournament. Can't remember which game, but I just remember we've seen it. Bishop B5, yeah. Bishop back to B6. Trying to remember the game, but I'm not going to try to. Knight G3, Knight D7, D4.
Actually, let me see, because I think the Chess24 database should just tell you, even if it's played this tournament. After which move? After.
Yeah, I mean, just even after 10 Bishop B5.
After Bishop B5. Let's see how reliable the database is.
Just don't look at, it's just like a big
It
database.
should have the games.
Up to date.
Yeah.
April 7th. No, it's not up to date.
No.
So maybe
But it
it's
should be, maybe
a
it's
slight
slightly
difference.
different.
He could have played
Let's see.
Bishop B5 later.
No, still nothing.
Okay. Very similar. Sometimes it's hard to maybe H3 was played at some stage,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. Okay. Anyway, more or less looking like a standard position that you have from the Italian, c6. The bishop now pulls back to d3. Doesn't have to do any shenanigans with going to a4 and then c2, so perhaps a slight improvement for white. Here rook e8 was played. I found one game where bishop c7 was played, and I haven't seen this game, so I'll quickly browse through it, but I know that white won that game, and it was a game between Tabatabai, who is Iranian, I think, against Alexandrov in the Batumi Olympiad. Well, he won in only 31 moves, so let's just quickly see if we will see some similar ideas. Yeah, already looking quite good for white, protected passed pawn.
This is probably one of the games that was part of the preparation of.
Definitely, because we see something similar, because Lamy played rook e8, Gawain played bishop e3, and just like in the other game, after a4 now by Lamy, c4 by Gawain, and now rook a8. And in the spirit of not using an engine, I will shut it off. So this is the position now currently, or do we have a move? Rook c1.
Move, rook c1 has been played.
So yeah, we still have all the pieces on, and we have
I was just gonna say, even without going too deep into the position, you can tell that this is something Gawain will be happy with. Other pieces on the board, an open position, a lot to fight for. But then again, I mean, I'm not saying Gawain is the only one playing for anything. Erwin will have to beat Gawain. And if Erwin can beat Gawain, he will tie for first. So it's a big game. And I mean, the same, of course, goes for Black. Black also has all the pieces on the board. So we'll have a very interesting middle game to look forward to here.
Yes. So this will be our main attraction, I guess. But let's also look at other games, because, well, we have a lot of people on 6 that could be
let's go through all these games quite quickly. So next we'll go to board 3. Sabino Brunello and Niels Guandelius. I was having breakfast with Niels and his girlfriend Ellen, and Arian Tari was also there on the same table. And when Arian left, and there was another guy who is not on the group of 6, and when Arian left, Niels said something like, "Okay, good luck, but a draw is fine."
Not too much.
Better to make a draw. And to the other guy, he said, "You can win, it's okay." Of course, because of the prize money, those who will reach 7 out of 9 will hope to see as few as possible others join.
Yeah, because that will give them less money.
Of the money.
Okay, so Niels goes for the Grunfeld, which he has played, I believe, more or less all his Grandmaster career. Bishop to g5.
Niels was not impressed. I was also with him at dinner last night when the pairings came out. Not impressed at all with his double black to finish the tournament.
He had black. That's unfortunate. But
such is the life.
Such is the life. Somebody has to have white. Bishop g5. I haven't really seen that line too much recently. And Niels goes immediately knight to e4. Bishop g5 can also be played after knight f3. So there are some slight differences. One of them being that on this move, knight takes d5 would, despite the bishop being protected, would actually lose a piece here after e6, double attack. But there's no knight on f3, so you have to, after this, d5, bishop d5, knight e4, so you have to move the bishop to h4, and now Niels took on c3, dc. He protects the pawn on c4. It seems like every Sudler game at some time was in this line, seemingly. But recently I haven't seen too many games in this line. But okay, knight h3. White doesn't mind the double pawns because Black will be spending another move on this, and this diagonal is very juicy, and we can win this pawn. So that would offset the double pawns, and after bishop h6, strange move. Strange.
What's the bishop doing on h6?
Yeah, there must be some nuance.
Maybe stopping knight f4?
Yes, potentially. If knight f4, you just take it off. Yeah, I guess the idea of knight h3 was to play knight f4 and eliminate this guy who is protecting c4. And if white can, take on c4 with the bishop, he'll be very happy.
Past Pawn, thank you for subscribing. 14 months in a row, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. And shout out...
14?
14 months, yeah.
Wow,
long
that's
time.
impressive. Yeah.
A long time. Shout out to Johnny Machine, who's busy in Dublin setting up everything for the Irish Open, which starts a couple of days from now. Mr. Dvorkovic and Bologan are visiting.
Oh, my friend Björn Torfason is going to play?
Yeah. It's going to be a good tournament. Yeah. If you want, Johnny, you can put the link in the chat for people to check out the Easter Open in Dublin.
So, he played bishop d5, knight takes, bishop d5, and e4. So of course you need the bishop to protect the pawn. And you see this very often in lines of the Slav, where the bishop goes to e6 and white tries to go knight c5. And after e4 you go h6.
Suggest you get a new mouse?
No. It's too late anyway.
How do you even play Blitz or Bullet online? Surely not with this.
Yes, I do. That's why I'm not higher rated. So when I get the proper mouse, I'll be a beast. Beware. So e takes d5, hg, and yeah, now Brunello gets to take on c4. And yeah, a lot of imbalance.
Yeah, I mean, this is very different to the Gawain Jones here. Quite a few pieces have come off the board, and it should be easier, at least, for us to understand what's going on. But still, despite the fewer pieces, very different pawn structures.
Yes.
Bishop against the knight. At the moment, I'm not sure which of the two minor pieces is the better piece.
No, they seem to sort of counterbalance each other. Niels didn't take on d5. Don't see like any tactical problem with it. But I guess he can just take when he wants. So he played queen d6, and after queen takes g5, he castled queenside. So black is actually quite active. Okay, he sacked the pawn, but I think we'll win the pawn on d5 if and when he wants. And meanwhile, where do you put the white king?
Well, let's see. White.
Well, he castled queenside.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. No,
of course,
the
point is if you castle, I will take you. No, black castled. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the notation. I was like, what? Did he castle queenside? So castles hangs mate. So he played h4.
And black responded with h5.
Rook h5.
Rook h5. Sorry. And the queen retreated to g3. I mean, I like this for black.
Yeah, me too.
I like this a lot, and I would never swap queens. Maybe I would even consider putting my queen on the ridiculous-looking square a3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think I like black here.
Because, okay, I'm stopping you from castling queenside, which I don't think you'd want to do anyway, but you still...
Well, I still might castle here, but then the h pawn comes under attack.
And I don't think you can...
Well, I can check. No, you have f5. Yeah. Okay, but this would be really dodgy to allow this, even though...
Dodgy for white, you mean, or for black?
For white.
You'll have to stop me from mating.
Yeah, and then I'm playing queen b2.
It's already getting tough to see how to stop the mate.
Yeah, I mean, we can go queen c2, but...
I mean, okay, if queen c2 works, maybe it's... Because we've given up two pawns in the process, so you need to be a bit careful.
I might have a move here like knight takes d5, going for the attack, because if you take, you no longer can interpose on the second rank, and I think it's mate. Although I do have queen h3, which no, that's only. I was trying to get two rooks, but I only get one. So this is a problem for white. Just as an example.
Yeah.
So queen c3 and needs to move. So yeah, some
and
imbalance
we
in
have
this one.
Arman, local hero, in the chat with us. He's saying, I'm trying to get out of work to show up and support my boy Dagor.
Yeah.
Pray for me. Pray for Arman, local hero.
We'll have to look at Dagor a little bit because
is he playing for
he's
Norm?
playing for an IM Norman. He
Do we
only
actually, are
needs
the
a
Norm
draw.
chances up on the website?
No.
Published? No? Okay.
We have
Crafty Raff is saying, interesting position in the Firouzja game. Well, that's quite handy because that's the next game we were going to go to.
Yeah. And it's Alireza Firouzja against local legend Jóhann Hjartarson, who made it all the way to the quarterfinals of the candidates.
And it's quite a nice pairing for the
1988.
last round, this clash of generations, you know,
Yeah.
potentially one of the future world champions against the local legend.
So Johan has the black pieces and goes for the Sicilian, which could be a dangerous proposition against young players who tend to have very aggressive lines at their disposal. But Johan isn't worried. Bishop d6, along castles. This queen f3 line is a rather recent trend. Bishop to e5, g3, knight g7, queen back to e2, making way for the f pawn to get pushed. Castles.
By the
queen to
way,
e2.
sorry to interrupt you, but I see that Quentin Loiseau has already beaten Tanya Sachdev with the black pieces in just 27 moves. Which for Tanya, I mean, she was in contention for both the rating and the women's prize. We'll have to see what that means depending on how the other women players do.
Yeah,
I think
we could
Dinara is
throw-
in a live board. Maybe we could look at that at some point. But I'm
Throw a
kind of
spanner in
happy
works.
for Quentin, who yesterday really had a heartbreaking loss
Yeah.
against Parley Grass after playing a good game. So he finishes on 6.5. Potentially a GM norm anyway, I don't know, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, most likely. Anyway, yeah, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, d6, and here Alireza took on e5. Black has double pawns, but they're not so easy to attack, and they do cover a lot of squares in the center. Bishop e2, rook b8, rook h1, bishop e7. Alireza enters on the 7th, but what can you do with it? Johan brings the king, knight d4, and rook b6. Okay, we have to do something about the bishop. Maybe
Maybe you don't
bishop
have
just bishop
so
c6.
much of a choice.
Yeah. Don't like bishop a8. Are there any immediate problems here? I don't.
Rook c. We need to make sure as well that the rook doesn't get trapped.
Yeah.
Then okay, it will always have enough squares along the 7 rank. Hydrated bot. I've already downed at least 1 liter of water this
1
morning.
liter?
Yeah.
Is it crazy?
I'm on my 3rd bottle.
So,
Rook c7 has been played
yeah.
according to Hartzler. Indeed.
White's long-term plan could be simply to use the 2 against 1 majority in the endgame, so a little bit similar to the Spanish exchange ending, although with the flanks sort of with different
One thing
flanks,
that's
with the flanks
interesting,
mirrored.
I just looked at the time situation, only 22
Oh.
minutes for Alireza, so he's...
He did play bishop c6, but Alireza didn't take. He played rook c7. Interesting move.
Rook c7 immediately. Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if it changes much. Well, if I take on c7, then I lose the b pawn. So that's probably not advisable.
Yeah, no, so I guess we have to
So
take on b6.
let's say we take on b6, jack, king e7,
Yeah.
probably. And now we could have No, I don't think we should have problems with the pawns on the king side. They can be attacked, but I think they're fairly easily defended. And black can play b4 next move. But still, long term, I like this 2 against 1 for white. But Johan, I mean, once he plays b4, he can also play knight f3. And, you know, he has some chances to probably equalize.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue our tour. We still have a few games. I think we should probably at this point already start sticking with current positions. Shall we go to board 5, Johan Salomon against Robert Hovhannisyan? Because I just realized now the time's already ticking down quickly. 2.5 hours into the 2.5 hours into the game. Sorry. Okay, so these guys, thankfully we went with current positions because they have played a big number of games down to 2 minor pieces ending, which I predict will end peacefully.
It doesn't
opposite colored bishops.
Seem to be much in it.
No major weaknesses, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, this one, I don't even want to stay with this game much longer.
No, can you mark boring next to this one? And we'll not keep an eye on it. Shots fired.
Okay, so on we go to board 6, another Norwegian, Arian Tauri.
This is the last chance for the Norwegians. If this is boring, then they're out.
We're out. We're never checking the Norwegians again.
Okay.
Let's see. Arian against Zadzikovski. Okay, this has more life.
First glance looks
a lot more life.
Yeah.
Okay, so first count reveals black is up a pawn. But
as per usual, double pawns on the flank. But white has a very attractive pawn here on b6, which is protected, to be honest, and fair. Black also has an advanced pass pawn, but seems it's more firmly blockaded. But we don't have any, like obvious or immediate pawn breaks, so.
I mean, I still kind of like it for white. I would like to ideally get my rook to the c file.
Yeah,
ideally both, maybe
if it's white to move,
c7.
I would do that, but it's black to move, so probably he would use the chance now to.
Yeah, maybe I need to be wary of the counterplay.
But still, then we can play a move like queen here, attack e6.
By the way, thank you so much to PassPawn99. He's saying, I'm going to miss Fiona and Ingvar's commentary when it ends today. Aww. Been watching the ones that I've managed to watch and the other ones on catch-up. Another advantage of being a sub is there's no adverse on the catch-up streams. Absolutely, this is right. And thank you so much for your lovely comment. I miss doing commentary too.
Yeah.
But there's always next year.
Yeah, and we can do some silly streams.
Yeah, we'll do. I think both of us actually want to get back into streaming more, so hopefully there won't be such a big break. I'm actually planning to stream when I get back home a couple of days from now. Yeah. So let's see if I can keep it up. And Mikey is saying, I can't wait until it ends. Mikey, put your comments where the sun don't shine. Yeah, I don't even know who I would take here. Who I would be.
Okay, rook f5. Yeah, it's maybe not too easy to do anything.
But I think this one, unless suddenly pieces get exchanged, I think this one will be a very interesting game.
Yeah.
That we'll come back to, because it's very difficult to figure out what's going on.
There are not like complications because, you know, there's no like interlock between the armies, but it's like strategically difficult. You have to find a way where you want to put the pieces and continue. So I think they will actually
this is an interesting question. On the screen you see Arian Tauri and Zadzikovski, and someone saying, who's that Iron Man? So in the front it was Christopher Yu, and I think next to him it was the Iron Man was Zhen Yu Lo from Singapore.
Ah. Yeah, I think you was playing against Andrew Tang today. Interesting matchup of Americans, young Americans.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see that, so we can maybe
Yeah,
have a look at it.
Have a quick look at that one as well. Yeah, so maybe we should just do a quick look up. Have a quick look at some interesting matchups.
Yeah, let's just continue. We're almost done with the players on 6 points who can catch up. So let's just finish with those.
Tigran.
Next up is Tigran Petrosian against Fabian Libisevsky. Fabian Libisevsky, a tough game today because he's been jinxed by the biggest jinx on the chess scene, Monsieur Sébastien Mazet.
How?
He's a very whenever he says good luck to you or whatever, you're always going to lose. And he posted on Libby's wall last night, Libby has done it again, hashtag unbeatable, hashtag. And immediately Libby, as the pairings came out half an hour later, he immediately got a double black for starters. So Libby said he would try his best, to save the... save what he can save after the jinx.
So Tigran with white.
And Mazet said anything is a bonus from here. You were mate in 2 today, you won. So anything is a bonus.
He was basically getting mated very easily, but his opponent had a huge brain fart already.
Did he talk to you over?
No. He'll need time. Yeah. I would need time, definitely. But only 50 moves, so I mean it's basically a free roll for Fabian anyway.
But he's unbeaten, He did the same in 2015 when he came second after taking 2 buys.
He took a buy again now. Yeah.
Well, he took 2 buys again.
Again?
Yeah. And if he wins, he's gonna finish. If he wins on 7 out of 7, has he won all his games? No, 7 out of. So he got 2. He's only made 2 draws and won all the others.
Okay.
Chessbra is stealing our viewers. Chessbra just went live. That's
Why
not
didn't he come
nice,
over?
Eric.
Wasn't he going to come over?
Yes.
Come on over.
He's in Reykjavik.
But Libby, his tiebreak will be bad because now we have a tiebreak number of games played.
Yes. But he doesn't care. He's happy to have some lovely nights out in Reykjavik.
That's true.
He's
spin
unbeaten.
the wheel. And
He's been here. It's quite impressive. If he doesn't use today to go unbeaten in 2 consecutive Reykjavik tournament appearances, is not so bad. Okay, so this one.
Yeah, Tigran tends to not play sort of main knights. He's usually playing g3, and then I'm not going to go with the opening. I'm just going to show you what he did against the French. He played queen e2. Which I believe is named after Chigorin, Mikhail Chigorin, famous Russian player, a Soviet player. And they've only played 15 moves. I'm wondering, they're spending a lot of time in the opening, it seems. Unless the table is frozen.
I don't think so, no. Time situation, half an hour for white, 17 minutes for black.
Okay. Fair enough. Here we're 19 minutes, 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, one game we were going to go to because Gudmundur Kjartansson was on 6 as well, but he has lost his game against Hannes Steffansson.
Already lost, I heard it was bad. So.
Piece sacrifice gone horribly wrong.
Really? So 2 games in a row that Hannes plays against Icelanders and they both sacrifice a piece and it's over within 3 hours. Yeah. Or even 2.5 hours. So Libby is facing, well, not a big problem, but you have an attack here, and maybe you do not want to castle into it. But if you can, then it should be a solid position. You're also threatening to just trade off, and to be honest, not much going on. I would say it's slightly better for white, but nothing really too dramatic.
So last game to look at, this one is it's an all-Indian clash between the 2 Guptas.
Gupta versus Gupta.
Prithu Gupta against Abhijit Gupta, both on 6 out of 8.
Current position, please. And it was a...
all these positions we've been looking at all kind of remind me of each other. Like they're all like bishops and rooks.
Yeah. Rook fc8. Equal material, but what happens If white simply takes, we have takes, takes, takes,
on
and black
c2.
is doing good. So is black getting some pressure against the c-pawn and is slightly better perhaps? Or do we play a move like rook d1, attacking the bishop?
Bishop c5.
Yeah, probably, and
I'll
probably
take
take.
here.
And
I think this has a high likelihood of
Yeah.
ending peacefully.
probably just go
somehow.
back and okay, black has some pressure against c2, but seems to be we should be able to neutralize it.
Maybe we can we
Or maybe
even
just play
something
c3.
c3.
Yeah, it's probably even a better choice.
I don't think we need. Can we even consider c4?
Yes, maybe. Why not? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It looks like we're about to simplify
roughly equal
into
here.
something roughly equal.
Okay, so we've looked at all the top boards. So do you want to go to Dagwar's game?
Yeah, let's not forget that.
So Dagwar is on board 15 against ReykjavikOpen2019.
So Dagwar had white. I'm going to quickly go through the opening. I know a lot of people are interested in this game. Dagwar had white.
By the way, Mathieu Cornet has also meanwhile won his game, so another win for the French against Daniel Abbas. And also Gukesh has beaten Simon Tuchelson.
Yeah, I knew about that one. Now I remember the question that I forgot to put on the quiz. Which one is Moscow and which is anti-Moscow? And I think it's anti-Moscow that was played here. Bishop takes f6. I'll remember next year. And this line, yeah, for black with g6. I even played this myself, allowing e5, but black wants to break later and now play c5, actually sacrificing a pawn, but gets the pawn back on d4. And let's just quickly go through the moves. Well, Robbie did sack an exchange here, interesting. Gets the pawn on e5, strong bishop, strong dark squares. But let's see what happens, because it looks like, yeah, Dagwar sacrificed back here on e5. And he only needs a draw, so he's going to try and defend a pawn down here, but with opposite colored bishops.
Yeah, I fancy his chances
I fancy his chances, but
of holding. But
could
it's
be
gonna
tough.
Be
Yeah, it's never easy.
A long defense.
Black will press, and I once lost a similar ending to, well, it was not, exactly the same, but it was opposite colored bishops. I had white, and my friend Stefan, who this tournament is in memory of, he had the black pieces, and he outplayed me nicely. So I mean, such situations where with opposite colored bishops, if you have the rook, then it you can create some chances.
If he manages to exchange rooks, it
Yeah,
will
then
be a
it's
draw
immediately a
for
draw.
sure.
Yeah.
But he cannot force the exchange of rooks, so he will have to suffer for his norm.
Yeah, but I think his chances are pretty high.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on Dagwar and his chances for. Well, he will not only get the norm, he will get the title. It will be his last norm, and he already
crossed 2400.
passed 2400 in the
Okay,
tournament.
so that's even bigger.
Yeah.
Should we have a quick look at Dinara maybe? So we mentioned for the women's prize, Tanya was on 5.5, but she already lost her game. And half a point behind her on 5, we have Dinara Sadrakasova and Nino Maizuradze and Suma Aurora. So maybe a very quick look at the 3 women players to see how they're getting on. So first off, Dinara Sadrakasova playing against Louise Salle.
Yeah. I think there's not much in it, or is there? Maybe black should take here. No, well, maybe it's a little bit for white, because you can always put a rook on c6 in many lines. Let's say takes. We don't have f. Yeah, actually, we do have f5.
Yeah, f5 actually.
But white can take first here as well. But no, I want to keep the c-file. So let's take f5. And maybe put pressure on a6, play rook c6.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, black is not without counterplay.
I mean, f4, f2 could potentially become weak at some point.
You'd have to worry about this.
Yeah.
So,
black just played, after c takes d5, black just played knight g5.
Attacking the queen, but now the queen must protect the bishop. And I'm guessing black wants to play for an attack then, well, a6 is hanging low, so I don't really want to spend the time on a move like queen b7, especially because h4 questions the knight pretty heavily, although I can always go back to e4. So I mean, yeah, some complications, but probably close to equal. I think white should be slightly better.
Oh, but wait. No. Okay, after queen e3, she played knight g5, queen e3, f5 is on board. And okay, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. So I mean, he's going for it because we can take on a6. Although queen a8 and then a2 hangs. So yeah, it's a double-edged position.
Maxime Lagarde won his game, so that's 3 out of 3 for the French players today. They didn't have the best of tournaments, but as we all know, as chess players, a last round win always sort of makes up for it. And leaves you in a good mood. Quick look at Nino Maizoretsa. We haven't seen any of her games this tournament, I believe, and she's playing against Alisher Suleimanov.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup.
But we'll have to, I guess, bring it up for you guys to see. Early days, a lot of pieces still on the board, but I kind of fancy white. I like space.
I mean, white has a space on the bishops. Can maybe attack on the king side, castle queen side, and go for it. And if her style is anything like her husband's,
they're still not married. Her boyfriend.
Oh, boyfriend. Okay.
We keep every year, we make the same mistake, but still waiting.
Well, I should know. My sister is getting married. She's been with her boyfriend for 16 years, so.
Long time coming.
A long time coming.
So yeah, okay, this game we'll have to come back to, but I like her chances.
I agree.
Very quick look, speaking of girlfriends and wife, quick look at Suma Aurora, the wife of Gawain Jones, who's fighting for the title.
That's actually...
She's also on 5. She's on board 30, playing against Bas van der Plescher.
That would be a very nice...
And then we'll go from Sue to her husband, Gawain.
That would be such a nice double if she managed to win now.
If she won the women's prize.
And the others, if Satwa Kosovo didn't win, and Sue gets the prize. She's going for it. She's down a pawn, but hang on a minute. Let's see.
She's a very aggressive player, a bit like her husband.
This was a line in the King's Indian. She already played, I think, this line against Tanya. Did she play Tanya earlier? I think
she did. Yes, she lost to Tanya.
I think it was the same line. Very aggressive line. So black has the double pawns, but a nice blockade here on e5. Chances to attack, and that's. Seems like that what she did, a5 to block the queen side. And here white opens it up. And okay, of course white is sacking the exchange, that's why she is down a pawn here. Why didn't we... Why didn't black take? What's the problem here? We're threatening queen h4.
Yeah, f4 would not be a good idea. King h2? Yeah, g2, sorry. And then I want to play f4 next.
Yeah. Okay, so you just we just allow this and then play f4 and play around it. Yeah, that's an interesting idea, and might just work. Bishop h3 not working. Violence in the station. Yeah, so queen h4 looks tempting, but you'll just have to move your queen again after rook to h1.
There's an interesting suggestion in the chat by Crafty Rap. Should there be a couple prize at the score of both players? to guarantee smart chess kits for the future. What do you make of that suggestion?
I think it will go in the bin.
Bit controversial.
to encourage smart chess players for the future. No, but having chess player parents apparently isn't a good recipe for success.
Really?
No, I mean, okay, maybe for I guess maybe I can think of many. Maybe Kremling, is she good? Anna Kremling, maybe. I don't know how old she is.
She's not even. Yeah, I mean she's 2000 or something. Thank you so much for the bits, Liquid Egg product.
No, but there are so few.
I missed it last time, your donation, so thank you very much for that.
There are so few, father-son or father-daughter situations where the grandmaster, yeah.
Sveshnikov, his son was an IM, but the Van Forays, this is a good point by Past Pawn. Van Forays, they have a big family history. I don't know if you know this, but their great-grandfather was already champion of the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they have a very long family history, but yeah, just mother and just one generation. I can't think of so many, funnily enough, from the top of my head.
Yeah, but Van der Plas is sacrificing the exchange. I think Sue has to accept it. Although there's 96 Swiss and Sue potentially, but I'm not too sure about it. Here takes me. You could also take on f4 first. But I think White will definitely have plenty of compensation here. Let's say bishop takes, perhaps queen takes. White will have the bishop pair, pawn and a lot of pressure.
But an interesting game, this one, and one that we'll surely come back to. But for now, let's go back to Sue's husband, Gawain Jones. Once again, he can win the tournament outright. He's the only player who can win the tournament outright if he beats Erwin Lamy, because we had a draw on board one, if you're just joining us now, between Parligras and Lupulescu.
So we left after the 19th move, rook to c1.
Oh, we've had quite a few moves. So after rook c1, black took on d4, knight takes d4, bishop c5, knight gf5, bishop takes f5, knight takes, knight e7, bishop takes c5. Finally some pieces coming off the board, so maybe we can see clearer in a second. Knight h4, knight d7, bishop e2, g5, knight
g5, okay.
Yes.
Knight f5 takes.
Yes.
I'm starting to like this less for Gawain now.
Knight f6 and bishop f1 is the position on the board.
Looks like Black has a lot of black square control, and the prospects of this bishop don't look very promising to me. No pawn breaks of huge importance for White. Seems like Black might be easier to play here in a way.
Yeah.
The only problem is that he has to keep an eye on this pawn. Maybe we can just play a3 at some stage.
I agree with you. I kind of like this for Black. And once again, Erwin will be eager to win this game, of course, if he can.
I think we're moving more towards a type of position that suits Erwin, I think.
Yeah.
I would prefer Gawain, I think, in like a dynamic, complicated position. But once it gets more static, more technical, I think perhaps Erwin is
better suited for the job.
Better suited for that job, but of course you don't get to 2700 without being a well-rounded player. So I mean, it's not like Gawain is going to struggle.
Okay, so let's go back to board 2. We also had big developments there. So Sabino Brunello, board 3. Sabino Brunello against Niels Guandelius. We left it off after queen
G3.
G3. Black now played queen f6 and queen g4 check. King b8
and G3.
G3. knight takes d5,
Finally.
bishop takes, so the minor pieces are coming off the board.
Finally equalizing the pawns. You took with the h-rook?
With the h-rook and a short castles.
Still think I prefer black. He has a slightly more compact pawn structure.
I would love to get g5 or something in at some point.
Yeah.
And maybe try and open the h or g file.
Yeah.
I like black's chances.
Yeah, it's not much, and anytime you only have the heavy pieces, you feel a little bit like, you know, not much is going to happen.
Yeah.
So perhaps draw most likely, but I still think Niels has some chances to press. Do we have maybe developments in Johan's game on board 4?
So we left that one.
Maybe I'll just left at the rook c7.
So now black played bishop e8.
Aha, okay, ignoring.
Rook takes c8. Rook takes c8. King d1.
Just a moment.
Un momento, por favor.
Un momento, por favor. Why not? Okay. If you take with the knight, I can take with the bishop. You would have to take with the bishop, and rook takes c2.
And this looks very good for me.
And if we take with the bishop, I guess rook takes c3 should work, and black is good. Okay, so he defends the pawn tactically. Well done. And white played what instead?
Instead, white played king d1.
Getting out of
g5, h3, h5. Push him, baby. King d2, h4, push him even more. And g takes is on the board. 9 minutes on the clock for Alireza.
Yeah, perhaps, you know, with the pushes on the king side, perhaps Johan is even thinking about more than a draw.
Sasha Varilovic is in the chat. Wow, suit and tie today for the greatest basketball referee in town. Grande.
Grande.
Crafty Rouse is saying, so if Gawain Jones, Dizak just came in. Dupulescu and Perligras, did play each other. They drew each other, meaning that leaves the way open for Gawain. But we just checked his game. We're not sure how fond of it we are. Maybe slightly prefer him, so we shall see. If Gawain doesn't win, there will be a tie for first.
Johan still has his fingers in his ears.
Yeah.
There was a big conference at the start of the round. There was a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So, but then, like 5 minutes into the round, they went into their conference hall. So there was, less noise. But maybe they're
Mikey is
out again on a break.
us in the chat. Okay, shall we? Let's first have a look at this one.
Yeah.
Then we'll move on.
So Johan just moved his pawn to h4. Like I said, maybe he's thinking about even more than half a point. But okay, at the moment, looks around equal. Still, we're defending the pawn tactically. If bishop takes b5, I think we still have rook takes e3. And if knight takes, we still have bishop takes b5. So black is defending the pawn. And what is white attacking then? And
is this true? After this game, Hjertason has to rush to Greece for the World Team 50 plus.
Yes, that's true. Most of the team already went, but he's gonna not play the first round in the old Git tournament, as some call it. So
Mikey has just been banned in the chat.
Mikey, go play the piano, Mikey, or something.
He was trolling us. The comment has been deleted as well, but basically was just suggesting he wanted good commentators. He wanted to replace us by Alexandra Botas and the chess press. He got swiftly banned.
Swiftly banned, of course. Well done indeed. So yeah, maybe this is...
Maybe it's deserved. Maybe it should remain banned. Get him to go through the effort of creating a new account.
Yeah, so maybe this... it's difficult to do anything. Again, if white can simplify, he still has this 2 against 1. And I'm sure he'll try to do that, but Johan, of course, is well aware of that. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe around equal.
Yeah. Okay, where to next? Where do we go?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the driver.
Mikey just messaged me on Facebook. Unban me. Oh my God, this is treason. Open your phone. Mikey, you get what you deserved. Okay, where do we go? Ingvar. Shall we check in with Bragi Torfinson? He's had a good tournament, but he faces a tough challenge in the last round. He's black against Sergei.
Sergei. Yeah. And Sergei, he's had a decent tournament outside of that one loss, I guess, against Lupulescu. And let's see, Sergei is white. Bragi has the black pieces. He's up a pawn. It's opening, strange opening. E4, knight c6 by Bragi. This is what Carlsen was playing in the World Blitz tournament. Not this year, but I mean not the last one, 2018, but the one in 2017. And I even think he had a game against Movsesian in this line, so perhaps Bragi was inspired by the world champion.
And there we see the players on camera.
Yes, very nice. And yeah, the knight on f4 looks nice, but white also has a very juicy square here on f5.
And importantly, like the knight on f4 could just be removed by taking it simply.
Yeah.
While the white knight, when it lands on f5, gonna stay there for as long as it
gonna be
wants
permanent
to.
if he wants to. And the extra pawn is more or less irrelevant. We're already threatening to win one back here on c7. And once the knight lands on f5, we're threatening to win the other one. So, having said that, I think I would take white here, but I'm not sure though how big of an advantage it is. Black's last move was a5. He's probably intending a4, since we have this pin and he wants to maybe try to liquidate these pawns. But okay, we get this nice knight on f5, but we need more pieces for this to be scary for black. But nonetheless, I think I would take white. It looks easier to play.
I agree. Okay, can I make a request? But first I need to find one. Let's go to Andrew Tang and Christopher Yu, actually. The clash of the American youngsters on board 13. Oof, a lot is
Yeah, let's just go to the current position where Tang is up a pawn. But But I tried to cover the mic. Hope nobody got a heart attack. But black has the bishop here. Still. I like white.
The pawns.
Extra pawn, you have some, long-term potential here.
And the knight. We need to bring that knight.
You can bring it. Yeah, I think we can bring it here. And if you can do that with threatening maybe bishop d2 to simplify it further, exchange this guy off.
I think Andrew is also doing well on the clock.
Yeah, so perhaps even this already is a move. Bishop d2. And note that of course we can't play here because of the jack.
Actually, Ingvar, we're being a bit blind. In the position on the board, a6 is hanging.
Ah, yeah.
Which is a big pawn to lose.
We have to be a bit careful about the back rank, though. Or maybe I could just take with the queen. Or can we? Let's say takes. Rook c8. But
Maybe
even
the worst way.
even still, we can just play bishop to f1, and shouldn't be a problem. f3 is shaky.
The only thing after bishop f1.
But we can play bishop somewhere, and there's no mate.
Yeah.
Although we would have to calculate. But I think this is too slow. When it arrives, we just take.
No, this doesn't.
So it doesn't look like a mate. So maybe we could just take on a6. But he did play f5. But maybe he just couldn't, had to pick his poison, lose this or this. So maybe Andrew is just having a field day.
Yeah.
He should be winning.
Probably winning, absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go back to. I was gonna say to the top board.
Seriously?
Let's go back to the.
Seriously, on board 69, how can someone named Magnus Magnusson have a 2006 rating? What is that supposed to mean? Did you know that Magnus Magnusson was the world's strongest man 4 or 5 times? Take that to the bank.
Shall we go back to the top board? I'll give you the moves.
You give me some moves.
The moves.
So we had bishop f1, and we were starting to even fancy black a little bit.
Yeah. After bishop f1, black played rook e5.
Yes.
Rook cd1.
Yes.
King g7.
Okay, king g7, bringing closer to knight. Protect, maybe, yes, Fiona. And next move, Fifi, you give me now.
g3.
Yes, g3, good move.
a3.
Get rid of pawn weakness, good move by Lamy. b3.
Which Gawain took.
He took?
Yes, he took.
Yeah.
That surprises you?
Sort of, but I mean, if you play b3, also this pawn is a bit of a thorn in your side.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just too easy to play rook e8 and you control the e-file. Don't have much to worry about. So maybe he thought he'd rather take on a3, get some dynamics, open the b-file, get counterplay.
And black just
But I guess
took.
he just took.
Yeah. And that's the position.
Yeah. I have a very hard time seeing Gawain win here.
You always talk into your hand like do you think you're messy or something?
No, like I think like this.
I don't know, this one, it'll end in a draw. It'll end peacefully.
Ah, yes. Hello
17 minutes for white.
Satchianandai. Like Komarov commentary. There was also a Magnus Magnusson who presented Mastermind in the UK for 25 years. That's true.
By the way, Majdi is asking, if more than 2 players are tied and only 2 of them have played each other, does direct encounter count?
Yes.
Or we go to Buchholz? No, it doesn't count, yeah?
If there's only 2, I think
no, but he's saying if there's more than 2.
If it's more than 2, it doesn't count.
So I think we'll definitely have more than 2 unless Gawain wins, and then I think the first tiebreak will be number of games played, just in case. For example, let's say Libby wins, that will disqualify him immediately. So we'll go to Buchholz next.
Yes. Shout out to Ben Pump in chat. He has very nice Twitch channel. Maybe you check out.
I've never seen him
give
actually.
to me immediately.
Yeah. Is Firuza still playing? Can you check his game, please?
We did fairly recently.
Fuxia is saying, what? Astana is losing against Van Verwees Dutch. Is that even legal? Yeah, not the best game, I think, by Alex. Maybe we can have a quick look at it later. But let's go quickly through boards 3 and 4 once again.
Yeah. So, Nunia business. So do I have Icelandic names right? If Ingvar has a son, his last name would be Sibetsson. You're absolutely correct. So which board, 3 or 4?
Let's go to board 3.
Sabino and Niels.
Yes.
Okay, maybe we'll just add the moves. Castles was our last move.
There weren't many moves. G5. Niels played my idea.
You played your idea! Yay!
Great minds.
That's the only move, or?
Huh?
That's the only move played? No.
No. White took on G5. Rook takes.
Rook takes, keep the queen so.
And queen e4. I'm liking black here. Now I will checkmate on the h5. Rook h8, rook h5, queen h6, rook h1. Simple chess.
Did he play it, or?
No, he's thinking.
It's his move. So, Fiona likes plan A.
I'm not a very subtle chess player.
Everything on. No, but sometimes that's... Ginger GM is not a very subtle chess player
I've spent
either.
too much time with the Ginger GM. Sibbetson.
Sibbetson? I would call him Manfred Sibbetson. Look at all these arrows. It's like a weather report.
And the wind is coming in eastwardly and then south.
I really like Niels' position.
Did you guys know that Firuza means hair in Hungarian?
He's quite a hairy player. Whatever that means. Good afternoon, so much chicken pie. Good to see you. Hawaii Pan Pizza is cheering for Niels to win his game, cheering for him all the way from Niels' home.
So much chicken
Sweden.
pie. I already know this. The elegant gun coming up on the 8th file. True.
I didn't even know that's what it's called. Unfortunately, Crafty Raf has to leave. Crafty Raf, a special shout out to you. He's been with us every single day. Thank you for being with us, and hopefully see you soon. Much love.
Maybe it was. I think we should have a raffle where I give my purple shirt, and he will get extra.
He will get his name like 10 times into the raffle or something. Also, thank you for your modding, and we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's correct what Machi is saying. Ali Reza popularity in chess world is growing very quickly, and he will get many invitations next year.
He's a very nice kid. Very
nice kid. I mean, his father is very nice, very polite. They're already going to Grenke after this tournament.
Yeah, they told me. Also, a question from Ben Pump. Why are there not 11 rounds this year? Well, it used to be 10 rounds.
Yeah, never 11. Not recently,
no.
At least, but 10.
Frozen Edge is here, finally, a suit. But yeah, there used to be 10 rounds, and 1 round was replaced by the Fisher Random tournament.
But did we always have a rest day? I can't remember.
I think not.
Probably not.
Maybe.
We exchanged the 10 rounds for a rest day.
Yeah.
Which has become now a Fisher Random tournament. By the way, I just posted a very interesting game between Andrew Tang and Ali Reza on my YouTube channel from the Fisher Random tournament. One of the deciding games of the tournament.
The game Fuchsia was just talking about, Astana against Van Foreest, has ended in favor of Van Foreest, so he's finishing on 6.5 out of 9. And a lot of... Aman is on the live boards. I completely forgot about Aman. And Aman... What's happening?
Давай. Are we going to look at Aman or?
Let's go to Aman.
I just told Mikey to stick it.
Mikey, behave. Okay, let's go to Aman. He's on board 25. Playing against Honolugov.
25. Es gibt Aman Hambleton.
Aman started the tournament well, but
this is a case of revenge, because Roland played the last game of the round yesterday,
against Alexandra Botas.
Blew out the battery on my phone.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to watch my favorite basketball team last night. That's what I do to you, for you guys.
Also, Ronan Le Goff is also playing here with Louis Salle, who was the guy who beat Aman in that long rook ending.
Oh, okay, so.
And I was just saying that Aman had started the tournament well on 3 out of 4, and then the loss against Erin put some spanner in the works, and it's not been a great tournament for Aman since.
At first glance, he's doing quite well now against Le Goff. And is Le Goff, Le Space?
What?
They call him Le Space.
Ah, yes, but
because when he was announcing his name, it's Le Space Goff. So, Le Space.
I can't I remember this.
He was with the French team, Ronan. But I think Aman has a nice position here. The knights don't make a very good impression here. This b3 pawn does a great job of blocking them. And unless you're going to sacrifice here, which you might, no, it doesn't work. Takes, dikes, something like rook e3 protecting g3, and maybe even rook a3. I don't believe black would get enough for a piece. So the knights are looking rather silly, and white has an easy plan of just playing f5, undermining these pawns, maybe queen f4 check, maybe knight takes h5.
It looks
black
like
looks very
will
bad.
be able to at least end the tournament on a high.
Looks very, maybe just might even just be winning for white, at least a large advantage, I would presume, without knowing what the computer says.
I can't believe Niels didn't play my idea of rook h8. He's going for the g file, but there's no mate to be delivered on the g file. As no one told him.
So do you want to go back there or no? We just looked at it. Maybe.
Yeah, let's go elsewhere. The ending between Firouzja and Hjartarson has changed quite a bit, so maybe we can update that.
So Ali Reza, we had
So we
29, g takes h4.
Yeah, now white played king e3, rook c7.
Okay, black had too little, but temporize, I guess.
Rook b8. King e7.
King e7, get out of the pin.
f4, f6, defending, takes, king d2, knight f3 check, and king c1.
Okay, so yeah, curiously, we had pawns here, and we're here and here, but they are now eliminated. And white still has this 2 against 1. I still think white is just playing for that long-term advantage. Now he has complete blockades on the king side. Although in some positions he must worry about the knight coming to g5 where it's hitting 2 pawns. But now maybe he's starting to, after king c1, he's starting to take on b5. And if you go back to d4, are there maybe now some tactics for white? Probably not.
Let's go somewhere that has changed a lot. We thought it might be an interesting game, but I think we'll be too late for it. It's board 6, Arian Tari against Daniel Zadzikovsky.
Do you update the moves or get the current position?
I think get the position, because a lot has happened. Oh wait, is it just broken? Is it just another case of a broken game?
No, it's okay. It will. I think here, this is what happened. Rook takes a3, rook d1, and queen d6. So probably he took on d1 and king h2. But the board could be could have an error because it's the wrong move now.
Yeah, because I thought once again I just saw the material count and the val bar, and I thought this was over. I'll see if we can get it fixed.
This is board number
6.
Okay, I'll send a message.
I'll send it now.
Okay.
Where should we go next?
Un momento, por favor. Okay. Okay.
Okay, but
Okay. Quickly, maybe gonna have a scan. Gawain hasn't changed all that much.
I mean, Niels has
Sabino.
changed a little. We could update
Yeah,
that.
but nothing really drastic.
Nothing dramatic,
Just
no.
moving the heavy pieces. Alireza just played King B1. Dagur maybe. Let's see how he's doing. That changed a little bit.
This has changed, yeah.
Because it's a very important game for him.
Yeah. A lot of fight in the last round. Very few games have ended 3 hours 15 in. Past Pawn is asking, how is your teammate Eggy doing, Fiona? We can check Eggy out. Is Eggy even playing? Yeah, he's on board 28 against Johan Ingvarsson.
Okay. Johan, did he? I think he made a draw against Cornet. Maybe he lost. I'm not sure. But okay, Robbie is trying to press home an extra pawn, and Dyer trying to hold on for a draw and his international master title. Could be tricky, and it's developing like I thought, in a way that black will be pressing. And it's an advantage to have the opposite color bishop with the rooks on. Already thinking about rook h1 when we have problems with the pawn. I guess we'd have to bring the king back. And then maybe move like this, and with running this.
Ingvar.
Slightly dodgy.
A big update. Let's go to Sue's game. Sue against Van der Plascher. I'll give you the moves because it might be a very good day for the Jones-Maurer family.
Okay, bishop h3 was played.
So bishop h3 was played. Now white took on f4.
With?
Sorry. You pick. Knight takes f4, bishop takes f4, bishop takes f4, rook takes f4. Did you have all this?
We had bishop takes f4,
yeah.
okay.
G takes, bishop takes f1. And now apparently a blunder by white. Queen takes f1. Which looks hard to believe. That's a blunder, because why would that... Apparently, don't ask me why, white had to play queen e1.
Ah, okay. Now we can play queen h4
exactly.
and then just rook anywhere, like...
king g2,
no, I mean
white played.
knight c6 maybe, no.
Okay, by the way, white put the king on g2, not g1.
Yeah, okay, yeah, of course.
And black...
Knight...
played knight c6.
Yeah.
By the way, knight c6, Niels mentioned last night that you had spotted this winning move, knight c6, which would have been nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't to be. But knight c6 here, the winning move as well. White played queen e1.
This is coming.
But he's just probably going to get checkmated. Rook g8. Rook king f1 and queen h2 is on the board.
Incoming!
Yeah.
Incoming!
Okay, so
okay,
it looks
queen f2
like queen
and
f2
then queen h1. Pick up the rook, and even though you get this...
Resigns. Should be time to resign.
Yeah. I'm thinking if we have anything.
Flashy.
Yes.
Queen c1. If you play queen e1, I'll play rook g2, g1. And here.
Maybe another check. And
I mean, okay, maybe I can take on c6 intermediate just to stop after king e2.
We can start with this.
Oh,
and black should win this.
Interesting.
Queen c3 then, just
queen c3.
What does that even do?
Nothing at all. This is going to be the end of the game. After queen h2, white has played queen c3 check. Even the lines we were looking at, I think, were quite hopeless.
So
but knight d4 is on the board, and white will have no choice but to resign because mate is now unavoidable. King e1.
Yeah, at least he has bishop f1 now.
Can you spot the mate in 2?
In 2. Ah, check, check, check.
Yeah, this is first, and
Wow.
Sue has played rook g1.
This might get her the women's prize.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens
Bishop
in
f1 is the only
Satwa
move,
Kasova.
and queen. Bishop f1 is on the board. Are we gonna see our
Quick look
first
at-
checkmate
yeah, let's
of the tournament?
let's wait for that, and I think we should
And
check
it's
out
on the board.
Satwa Kasova's game.
Congratulations to Sue. What a game. To
No,
get
but the knight is pinned, the king can take.
yeah,
Some people are
funny.
like, but the knight is pinned, you can't take.
Yeah, a funny clown.
funny
is
rule.
this Gawain's wife? Yes, it is. Congrats to Sue. What a result. Shall we check out Satwa Kasova quickly?
Queen takes e2 mate. Yeah, I was thinking the same because now it's very relevant for the women's prize.
So Satwa Kasova and Nino Maizurase. So Sue has overtaken Tanya Sachdev. Let's see how Dinara is getting on.
Dinara Zadwakasova. Yes, see Zadwakasova. White pieces. Black is going for it. Louis Sall, he has sacrificed a pawn here. Played f4, e4 and f3. But Zadwakasova trying to keep it close with g3. And how does black
3 minutes,
continue
by the
here?
way, for Satwa
You can take on
Kasova.
e4 though. Although I think in general black wants to avoid any trades, so probably takes with a knight. Bishop d4, bishop f6 should be okay. Almost.
The Fuchsia is asking if we have a camera on board 6. I've messaged our live boards guy to see if he can fix the board. There's definitely something wrong on board 6. We're aware of it, and we are trying to get it fixed.
So this one is double-edged. I mean, black is
Past Pon is saying, Sue, a real hacker like her husband.
not really a fair assessment, but
Not?
no, Gawain isn't a hacker.
He isn't a hacker, but I think he started out as a hacker.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, at heart, he will always be a hacker. Like, of course, he had to, become a bit more.
But he's like very.
But at heart, I think he will always be a hacker.
It's very cool how he, slowly but surely has improved.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when he started, I mean, there must be already around 30 your age, right?
Yeah, I think he's a couple of years older than me.
Yeah, so he's 30 something.
31.
So when he's like 23, 24, he was just at 25, 30, 40 grandmaster. But then he just started to improve.
Which shows you that even,
So he put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
It paid off, and he's been the high 2600s for a good while. And now, at least now he's over 2700. I'm not sure what happens if he loses. Well, if he loses, he goes down.
he'll
But I'm not
go
sure
down,
what
yeah.
happens if he draws. He might still be
Draw,
over.
he will stay over
Yeah.
2700, yeah.
So
This one I'm not sure what's going
no,
on
I think
here.
White isn't in any
Queen
trouble.
f6 has just been played.
But he didn't take.
No. I'm confused. I'm very confused.
Was there something wrong with knight takes e4? Don't think there was.
Knight takes e4. No, nothing wrong with knight e4, but
No, but queen f6.
apparently there's something wrong with queen f6.
Yeah, what about just bishop d4?
I mean, yeah, why would you allow that for tempo? Where are you gonna go? Probably wants to give a check, I guess.
but king g2. And
Yes, the idea is
and
queen f3.
where does the queen go? Probably just take it.
Yeah, and g7 will be hanging
Yeah.
in the end. And bishop d4 is on the
You don't have
board.
to take with the rook. So Dinara.
Dinara, it looks like
You're spoiling it for sure, Dinara. Come on.
Yeah.
No. But they will be equal.
They will be
equal
tied
on
on
points.
6, yeah.
Okay. No, but Sue will be on the podium anyway.
Yeah, she will be on the podium. So very quick look, and then we go back to our top boards. Very quick look at Nino Maizurasa, who's the last woman player on 5. She's playing against Alisher Suleimanov on board.
Oh yeah,
27.
it wasn't very far advanced, but we sort of liked her position. And now she has managed to install a knight here on d6.
One big problem
Six.
here, actually for both players, 5 seconds. She played her move with 8 seconds on the clock.
Wow, and 3-4.
38 seconds
Yeah.
for Nino Maizurata and 3 minutes for Alisher Suleimanov.
Do we have any big time pressure on the top boards? Maybe we should start checking it out.
Yeah, actually,
Perhaps.
let's go back to Niels Guandelius. We'll check
Yeah.
Nino out later. But let's stick with board 3 for now, because Sabino Brunello is actually down to 2 minutes and Niels is under 7. Let's just get to the current position. So we left it off after, let's just go back a few moves.
Here.
So I said I wasn't happy with Niels putting his
You
rooks
wanted
on
it- you
the
wanted it
G
here.
file instead the H file.
King g2, rook g4, queen d6, f5. Okay. Plan A wants to play f4. Rook h6, queen d8, queen to f3, and now f4. And rook back to h3. So good news, bad news. We are opening up the king, but we're also nearing an ending in some cases, and then we don't want to give our opponent an outside pass pawn.
How do we manage to increase the pressure here with black, or can we?
Certainly not with queen d6, which seems to lose in one move. No, yeah.
Queen
does.
and G4.
I thought some checks would do it, but just queen back.
Yeah.
And we can't defend the back rank, so you have to find something else. And if we take, I guess he takes with the rook to neutralize the pressure. And I'm not sure. Still I like black a little bit, but I think it will be very difficult to win.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay with this game, because the Gawain game, I'll keep an eye on it. There's not so much going on at the moment. Also, they're just 4 moves away from making the time control, while this one, we are 10 moves away, under 5 minutes now for black, and just 2 minutes 20 for white. Okay, so queen d6 was not a good idea, or queen removing the queen for d8 rank, unless you put it on d7 actually, in which case you'll defend the rook with the queen.
Yes. Yes. But how do we,
What's our
like
plan?
you said, improve?
Okay, first I would actually
Or just-
like, maybe even instead of queen d7,
just
let's
make
make
luft.
some luft.
Or maybe I'm
Better safe than sorry,
yeah. I'm wondering if we should
if it makes
play
a difference.
b6.
I would
because
prefer
Oops.
a6, just but then b7
rook
might
b1,
become
yeah.
weak. The thing is, if you play b6, you're not even making luft, really. Because that queen, and then now I'll play a4 as white, and I don't like that so much for black.
Maybe it's unnecessary
Yeah.
for black to.
Under
but
4
still.
minutes for Niels. This one, I mean, this will be a high pressure time
I'm
scramble.
actually curious to see what move
Niels plays,
will come up
yeah.
with here.
If only I'd put his rooks on the h file.
Yeah, no,
You wouldn't have to deal with all
Yeah.
this crap.
And black, no, then white would
It
have
would
to
be
deal with
checkmate long time ago. Could go home.
plan A.
Yeah, rook h3. And the question is, the more I look at it, I don't think he will play a pawn move either a6 or b6.
No.
I think they're just too weakening, actually. I am nobody really is saying, Niels put the rooks on the wrong file. He needs some Fiona lessons.
But what
Brute force.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But what about queen e8 to g6 maybe? And then we're. No, we're not threatening anything. Well, we're threatening queen c2 check. Yeah, I think I like queen e8 to g6. Increasing pressure a little bit. Eyeing the b1 square as well, eyeing c2 if we take on g3.
Mikey is saying black wants e5, queen d2. Yeah, I guess if we can get the queen on the second, then we'd be very happy.
Brute force, plan A plus by...
So my chicken pie is saying the two rooks are tying down the rook and queen, so I think bring the black queen out and probe the queenside pawns. The problem is with bringing out the queen, as we just saw, for now you need to be careful of the tactic.
Oh yeah, queen
queen
d2
takes
allows
d4.
queen takes d4, which we just looked at.
Yeah.
That's right. So we have to be careful about this, so e5 doesn't work. So I think I like either making luft or queen e8 g6 as well. But what will the Niels come up with?
Time is ticking for Niels. Under 2 minutes for Niels Grandelius, with 11 moves to play, which is quite a few moves. And once again, a lot at stake here, because a draw or win makes a huge difference, not just in your tournament rankings, but of course in the prize. And maybe you can send a message after all, because the board is still broken. We're getting quite a few complaints in the chat. We are working on fixing board 6, but Einar hasn't seen my message. And Niels, oh Jesus.
What?
Jesus. He played a6. I don't know, no, I think my engine just swung for a second. Okay, but still a6, a move I said I was sure he wasn't gonna play. a6, and Sabino instantly responded with rook e1.
So he played a6, rook e1.
Actually, sometimes these engines are, I actually really should turn them off, because after a6 it just jumped to +3 and then it just went
it always
back
does
down.
this immediately.
I know. It's not good for your heart rate. And I like this camera view we're getting on Sabino. Those are nice. So, okay, rook e1 and f takes g3 is on the board. And rook takes g3.
Yeah, you don't want this passive rook on h3, you want to trade them off, and I guess Niels has no choice but to take on g3, more or less. Well, maybe you don't. I think it improves the pawn. And maybe you want it on the f-file, not create a pass pawn. So maybe rook back somewhere. g6 maybe. Rook g6. Or maybe finally going for your plan. The delayed.
Never too late.
Delayed plan A.
Never too late.
Plan B. Delayed plan A. Maybe. Yeah. The more I think of it, it makes no sense to take. Well, not no sense, but why?
Under a minute for Niels Grandelius.
Oh, we got another. Yeah, like you said, nice view there. Using camera 5 very nicely.
Yeah. Okay, what does he do? He needs to play a move. 45 seconds to go. Oops.
Arman Local Hero is wondering about Dagger.
Yeah, I will worry about that once we reach move 40.
We'll look at that after this one finishes move 40.
Okay, so Niels has played rook 4 g6. Again, I'm struggling to understand these sort of moves, but I guess what he wants to do is swing now to the f-file, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, the rook was attacked, so we have to move it somewhere. And he didn't want to take on g3, so I think there were only two choices, rook g6 or rook h4. Since he didn't go to the h-file, maybe you're right that he wants to go to f6. Why not? And let's say, well, what does white do? Let's say I move like rook e4 or something. Rook here, takes. No, then a2 is already hanging, for instance.
No.
I was just thinking that I like
but
this
okay,
setup.
if you take on a2, I'll take on e7.
Oh yeah, forgot that one.
And
A rook e4 isn't a
e7 is
particularly good
hanging.
move. Yeah.
Okay, queen f7 played from white.
Well, we have rook. I'm totally blind. We have rook here.
No, but yeah, we both thought rook g4, but of course that doesn't work. Okay, queen f7 is on the board.
Queen f7.
Yep.
Okay.
So hitting the rook once again. And Niels will have to make a decision, and also hitting
Now
e7
he
now.
might take and play queen t6. No, then this hangs. Yeah. So.
Not so easy.
Is he
Niels
forcing him
has
to
finally taken on g3.
Okay.
F takes g3. I think Niels is losing the grip he potentially had on the position, because suddenly now, okay, with just one pair of rooks.
If he just plays passively, then
then suddenly white will be in the driver's seat.
Think about pushing this guy. But Niels doesn't like to play passively. So
No,
I
I doubt he will play rook
he will
e8.
do that.
He's played rook f8 instead.
Naturally, and on queen takes e7, he will play queen to d5. Check. Hitting the a2 pawn. So we don't want to go to the second rank. We can't go to the h file because rook h8, so probably king g1. But then we need to improve the rook, maybe even rook f3. And we're hitting a lot of pawns, and we should win the pawn back. And there's no check to trade queens. There's one check, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Check in here just probably helps black. So I'm not too sure. White wants to take on e7. So maybe queen e6.
Brunello is still thinking, now under 2 minutes, under a minute for Grandelius. Still 6 moves to go. I am nobody really saying Niels can try forever. Black's king is just much safer.
Yeah.
That is true, but the problem is that g-pawn, like, if you're not careful.
Yeah. No, I mean, in these heavy piece endgames, the safer kings is very often quite important. So I have a very hard time seeing Niels lose here. Even if he loses a pawn, the white king is so open that in so many cases you'll be able to find a perpetual.
Under a minute now, both players are under a minute, 6 moves to go. Okay, the position has simplified quite a bit, but still. I think it's still easy to go wrong, or at least end up significantly worse. As soon as this is over, we'll update, of course.
Go to board 1 now, board 2 when this one finishes.
Yeah, board 2, sorry.
Or gets to time controls.
30 seconds for Brunello.
So you should make a move soon. Again, I don't like taking on e7. I think it's just very dangerous.
And he's played queen e6, reaching the same conclusion.
Maybe, can we play rook f6 now? And with the same idea, if you take, I play queen check.
Yeah, it looks very dodgy.
Yeah. And again, I think he will not take if rook f6 and just go here.
15 seconds to go for Grandelius. He'll need to make a move. What's it gonna be? Rook f6 indeed.
Yeah.
I am nobody really is saying clock is on the wrong side, can't see it. Yeah, it's on the right side for the arbiters.
Yeah.
Yeah, rook f6. So both players now on increment, 5 moves to go. It's probably easier for Niels to play because, as pointed out by I'm nobody really, the white king is more vulnerable. There we see Ellen Kakoulidis in the background, Niels' girlfriend, who started her tournament well, but then things went a bit downhill. Fun fact, says Hertza in the chat, Jones could lose his game. We haven't updated it in a little while. We'll go there as soon as they've reached move 40 here. But for the moment, Brunello is still thinking. He's just made a move, and he retreated the queen to e4. And queen g8 on the board by Grandelius.
So I think black still has like a slight edge because of the pressure, better pawns, better king. But probably really difficult to make much of it.
Well, we're hitting a2 now.
Yeah, but just rook e2. We can increase the pressure like rook g6.
But can I once again? I'm still dreaming of the h5. Okay, white has finally taken on e7. Let's see, queen g8.
Oh, he took an e7.
Queen takes, yeah.
Okay, queen takes a2. Maybe he's forcing a queen trade now. Did he take on a2? I'm not sure.
Not yet.
He will do that. Maybe rook g6. No, then check. Rook f8 looks dodgy. Well, not dodgy, but.
So what happens if I take on a2? He has taken on a2.
Rook e2, and you have to defend the rook. Queen d5 check.
Yeah, queen d5,
check.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll do that. Keep the pieces on. Maybe this was not a good idea by white, because now the king is even dodgier. But we can play queen e4. Surely that's okay.
3 moves to go. 3 moves to go. I think Sabino might have missed queen d5 potentially. Doesn't look too happy, but he still played rook e2. Doesn't really have much of a choice. Queen d5, I'm sure, will be played.
Yeah,
queen d5 and queen e4 on the board.
If the queen was protected, if the pawn was on c6. No, I thought he would have a cool tactic than rook e6, but he just takes, king f1, takes, king takes e2. But all of that is irrelevant because the queen is not defended.
So after queen e4, 2 moves to go for black, 1 move to go for white.
And he doesn't want the queen on a square where white can trade queens off with queen e8 check, so no queen f7. I don't think he will trade queens. So are we okay to play like queen g5? Well, it doesn't do anything or threaten anything. Yeah, I wonder what the best square is.
Queen c4.
Yeah, maybe queen c4 just attack c3. Simple chess.
And 1 move to go for both players to reach the time control.
Yeah, probably Sabino will give a check in the last second. And then find the move.
And then take some time after that, yeah.
Yeah, because it's his 40th move. I mean, at least he's never going to be in trouble to find the move. He will try to find the move. If he doesn't find one, he will give a check.
The problem is that you decentralize the queen, so even that check is not to be given lightly.
Yeah.
I'm nobody really is saying the a-pawn is much more dangerous than the g-pawn. Double dodge is saying Lamy has a winning position apparently, so let's just wait for the last move. Brunello is under 10 seconds. Is he gonna give a check or no? Is he gonna forget about his clock? What's he gonna do?
Bad boys, bad boys.
Brunello boys, Brunello boys.
He might forget about the clock. I mean, stranger
the
things
clock
have
on
happened.
my computer has, oh no, there we go,
e5.
queen e5 is on the board.
On the board.
So queen e5 and 30 seconds for Niels Grandelius to make his 40th move. By the way, Chess Gremlin in the chat is just saying Aman won his game, so finishing on a high. Hopefully that means that Chess Pro will stop streaming. So can't believe Eric didn't come and say hello. Shame on Eric.
Yeah, I'll give him the business tonight.
And Niels's last move is rook b6.
Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
Do there.
It's on the very bottom.
Yeah. Rook. Where?
b6.
b6.
B.
Okay. Okay, so they reached time control, and yeah, still Niels is trying to push through a very, very minimal edge. Not sure it's enough to win, but who knows. I think we should check back on
Board 1.
board 1, board 2 actually.
Yeah, board 2.
The
it's easy to keep referring to it as
but
board
it's
1.
basically the board 1 that's left.
On board 10, Movsisyan has beaten Bragi Torfinsson.
Yeah. So we left after rook takes a3. Shall we go through what has happened since?
Yeah, so rook a3 was move
31. I know the right.
So white now played bishop g2, queen e7, queen b1, rook takes c1, rook takes, queen c7, rook e2, and apparently things started going a bit wrong around here. Queen d7, rook, king h2, queen d3, queen b2, queen takes c4, picking up a pawn, a big pawn. Rook c2, queen b4, queen e5, queen d4, and now the move 40. So they're still on move 40. White has been in the tank since queen e7 and b6. So Gawain's been thinking for 7 minutes here. Yeah, while we were away, Erwin managed to win a pawn, and what a massive pawn that was.
Yeah, we can take on c6. Or can we?
We've just received a €25 donation from Ian. Thank you so much for that. I know your name is not showing up at the moment because we have a different layout, but I'll be home in a couple of days and your names will be up where it should be. But thank you so much for your donation, which will be shared in drinks later tonight.
Obrigado, spasiba. Thank you. Tack fyrir. Gracias. Yeah, I'm not seeing any tactical problems with at least trying to get one pawn back.
The problem
queen d3,
is, yeah,
and then take this.
Now once again the position has gotten a much more dynamic character than when we last looked at it. But still, are you sure there's no problem with this?
I don't like this, to lose this pawn. Let's say, well, we can play rook b2, but then this hangs.
I don't know. After rook b2, I will just take on f5, yeah?
We have no way to defend it.
Yeah.
Rook e2 takes, don't see any.
I mean, if Erwin can win this game, that will be a massive, massive result.
That will be huge for him.
We need to get board 6 fixed because, board 6 is over, confirmed. The result is up on chess results, which is unconnected to the Chess24 broadcast. So Aryan Tari, the first player today to join the two Romanians on 7 out of 9. It's looking very unlikely that Gawain will win his game. The question is whether can he save it.
Tari probably doesn't have a very good tiebreak because he was never
He was never on the top boards.
Top boards.
And Gawain has just played. He didn't take on c6. He played rook e2,
which at least has an idea. Maybe rook e6 in some cases. Although that will start hanging a2, and then this hangs, etc. So
some other results that have come in: Andrew Tang beat his young compatriot Christopher Yu. Vladimir Potkin finished with a win against Istvan Borsch. Giorva, after yesterday's heartbreak against Libby, finished on a win as well. And Nina Maizuradze lost her game against Alisher Suleimanov.
okay.
So that means we should at some point maybe a quick look at Dinara and then... let's start with board 4 actually. Alireza and Hjartarson.
Yeah, maybe just...
maybe a quick look at all the players on 6 actually.
Yeah, okay.
And then a quick look at Dinara and then a quick break.
Also a quick look at David before the break, maybe.
Also John Pigott finishing on a win.
Okay. So we had this, and King B1.
Interestingly, from all the games that have finished, the board 1 draw is the only draw so far.
Yeah. So King B1. Bishop D7. Still we can't take on B5. Knight takes, I take on C2. Bishop takes it, I still take on C3. So same tactic, always defends the pawn. But now another weakness appears for Alireza. Johan pushes here and plays knight to F3, defending the pawn. B3. And now all of a sudden Johan activates the king to D4. It's hard to assess. Is Johan holding on here?
If Johan can hold on, that's a massive, a big hold for him.
At the moment there's no attack on this pawn, so we're neutralizing this. And we're starting to threaten, not immediately, but soon, to take on E4. There's always a knight to D6 that we have to be careful about.
Yeah.
So maybe we have some knight G5 ideas and then take on E4. Still doesn't work, but okay. We can maybe first swing the rook. It's difficult to do anything here.
I've gone awfully quiet because this is not my type of, my favorite type of position, let's say.
Endgames.
Yes. But there's one, I think this one will go on for a while longer. The players still have plenty of time.
Just trying to find, it's white to move actually, so.
Let's have a quick look because this is one with very few pieces left, so maybe we can figure it out. Board 5, Johan Salomon against Robert Hovhannissian. So that was the game that Ingvar had dismissed early doors as boring. It looks like we didn't miss so much, but the white king is quite far away. Will it matter or not?
It might matter. So black will take the pawn. And we can't take the knight, that's a losing ending, so we have to keep it on.
Knight F2 seems to make sense, stopping the king from joining the party, at least for now.
And then we have to get our king into the game. Okay, we can maybe push the pawn. The king comes. And then at some stage we have to activate the king, and white will try to get back. Let's say here. I think this should be. Should be a draw.
Yeah,
for instance, king here, we can start attacking, attack again, attack a third time, and then just take it.
Knights are tricky pieces. Johan will find a way to hold it, I'm sure.
So that's my feeling.
If we move on to board 7, the jinx, Sebastian Mazet, looks like he has well and truly struck once again.
Aha. So Tigran
the game is over.
Wins.
The game is just over as we speak.
Oh, they just finished?
Yeah. So Tigran Petrosian joining the party on 7 out of 9. So just to recap, at the moment, Parligras, Lupulescu, Ariantari and Tigran Petrosian on 7. So if Gawain doesn't win, which is looking extremely unlikely, we'll have a big tie at the top.
Yeah, looks like a nice positional win by Tigran here.
Quick look at the Indians and quick break.
Quick look at
the Gupta, the last board on 6.
Gupta.
A double rook ending. A pawn up for black.
Gupta is pressing, definitely. So Abhijit Gupta,
former champion here in Reykjavik,
is winning a pawn here rook takes e5 in this double rook endgame. Probably the next move will be maybe rook c2. But okay, white has some ideas as well. He does have a rook on the 7th. So even, well, okay, that's a bit drastic perhaps.
Maybe before the break, very quick look at dagger.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So let's do that, and then we'll take a break. Dagger is on board 15.
Question to Ingvar. Is Vigni Vatner related to the Icelandic author Jon Kalman Stefansson?
I find that highly unlikely. Stefan is a very popular name, so somebody being Stefansson is... It's not like last names in Europe when you're Keflisvík, probably related.
Yeah.
But if you're Stefansson, you share. It's highly unlikely actually. But Robbie has made a lot of progress.
Another result on board 12. A good draw for Zhen Lo from Singapore against Kanarek.
So Robbie has managed to push the pawns now. Connected pass pawns, that's not what you want. And probably White's best chance will be at some stage to hope that he can sacrifice the bishop for the 2 pawns. And then he will have to suffer for probably another 1.5 hours.
But even it might not even be so easy.
No, he might not even get to that. Actually, it's looking like he might just lose this.
It's going to be a heartbreaking.
Yeah, maybe just king e3 now. We're threatening the bishop.
My teammate David Eggleston finishing with a draw against Johan Ingvarsson.
Bishop d1 loses to rook c1. If you defend, then check. Also, if you check on a3, bishop c3. So where does the bishop go? Bishop e5 is a stupid square. And now we're going to start pushing f4. If you check, again, I go here. I want to push f3.
Yeah.
Give a check. I think it's just losing now, unfortunately. And yeah, maybe he was too eager to simplify.
To this,
yeah, because thought he could draw this, but it is sometimes difficult.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the game that I mentioned earlier. So yeah.
Okay, quick break.
Yeah.
Quick break, 5-10 minutes, and then we'll be back with all the action from the final round. Is Gawain Jones gonna manage to turn around the situation he is in and beat Erwin, become the sole winner, or are we gonna have a massive tie at the top? Join us in 5-10 minutes to find out. And we're back with all the action here from round 9, Reykjavik Open. Move by move, I don't know how he guessed it, but he guessed it. Surprise guest, Aman Hambleton.
How do people know? Where's the leaking going on?
Supply!
So Aman, tell us, it's been a very eventful tournament for you. Lots of ups and downs. You started well, then a heartbreaking loss against Erwin. Tell us a bit. How did you feel throughout the tournament?
Yeah, no, not my best game. In a way, it was my best game. I thought it was going to go in the books, you know, but it will for the wrong reasons. So that was probably my tournament right there. Just turned around completely, and I sort of lost the thread a little bit there. So after that game, I even managed to lose a game later from some like kind of hallucination at the end. Mm-hmm. So I think
rook ending.
Yeah, my games, my mistakes have been like from me being quite out of shape, like out of tournament shape. Haven't played in a while. This is like my first serious tournament since maybe even becoming a grandmaster. So I think
so
it's
you had one small tournament in Canada, right?
Very small tournament. Very small tournament with a very small rating loss.
Solid lock.
Actually, move by move, I was just gonna ask that same thing. Yesterday you met 1d4 with e5, the England gambit.
Yes.
Did you lose a bet?
What was that?
Well, when the tournament's not going your way, you resort to the stuff that you've been playing on stream. And I'm playing this opening on Twitch all the time.
Really?
And yeah, with some success, buddy.
buddy.
And I tried to replicate that, but of course it's really not the same. So that was a really fortunate win after a really unfortunate loss.
I was wondering how
felt
much.
Like the karma was there.
How much during the game did you regret your opening choice?
Probably like 3 moves in, I was like, no, what am I doing? What am I doing? But I had to play once.
But the way you pulled through in the ending was very nice.
Yeah, I don't think any of it was forced.
No,
so
but still, it was a very nice trick.
Yeah, when you get a helping hand from your buddy, you know, then that helps.
Yeah.
There's another question in the chat for you from Snow Kobe. Why no hoodie?
Why no hoodie? I took it off for the...
I'm not sure if people can see it on camera. I think they can. When will those chessboard shirts become available?
Yeah, these are just to make everyone really, really jealous. That, you know, just to tease absolutely everyone.
Yeah, I think it's working.
But yeah, these are pretty new. So this is the first time that anyone has worn one. Mm-hmm. But we're seeing how the reception is, or if people like them. And
I want one.
There we go. There's one.
I've also made a request already.
Pre-order will be soon. Yeah, but we're changing up our merchandise line. So this is maybe a sign of things to come.
I was a little disappointed with Aman when I saw that he's wearing a Daniel Wellington watch. Does Aman have plan for a new watch?
What's wrong with Daniel Wellington? What's wrong? I know a few good Daniels. Wellington, he's not bad. I mean, he's not the worst. No plans for a new watch. I'm not a fan of the big-headed watches. A lot of people are, but I like the small, simple, elegant style.
The pink, I like the pink.
Yeah, the pink strap. Yeah, as you can see, it's been with me for a while. So
shall we maybe use him and have a look
I was
at
just gonna say before
game?
we let you go, it is the last night after all. Quick look at the board 2. Gawain Jones against Erwin Lamy.
Yeah, what's the tournament situation for these guys?
The
if
two
Gawain wins,
Romanians, you can see.
He's a sole leader.
Yeah, sole winner he will be.
Sole winner, yeah.
Gawain can win the tournament.
Yeah. Otherwise, we will have a massive tie for first.
And
he lost a pawn. Still down the pawn.
Black
to move, of course.
Yeah, Queen is 6, the last move on the board.
It looks very even, I would have to say. Queen e6 takes some knight. I don't know, some knight.
No, yeah, maybe.
Knight d5 or knight g8. Yeah, knight d5 looks smarter.
Yeah, because
and if I take,
it's not a big threat. Yeah, we can take. No,
Rook
but then
takes, I'll take, and then knight
move the knight.
c3 or knight b4 or something. Some move with the knight, and I think the endgame should be winning.
Yeah, I think it's winning.
for black. Actually,
we're
so
gonna win a
Erwin's black, yeah?
Yes.
Aha. Well, I would say Gawain winning seems
Optimistic.
difficult. Yeah,
Possible,
maybe
but very
optimistic.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, especially let's say if he plays queen takes queen, but which I assume he will. I don't see any other move. Is there queen? No, there's no other move. So probably he's gonna play knight d5, and I mean you can play rook.
We're gonna force the rook trade. We're gonna be up a pawn, right? Black.
If rook d7, then
knight e3 maybe.
Yeah, and what about e7?
You have e7. Yeah, I forgot that.
By the way, this has
That's a pretty big
happened.
threat,
Queen
actually.
takes c6, f takes c6 is on the board.
Okay.
But not necessarily knight d5.
No.
Like Amos said, maybe knight g8 is better. Maybe to keep the option of rook e2 at some stage.
Yeah, knight d5, rook d7 is a little. Is it a bit annoying?
By the way, heartbreak for Dagwo, who lost the ending against Kevlishvili, so no title just yet.
Yeah,
He would have gotten the title.
not just the norm, yeah,
Yeah.
The whole thing. Because I know he also crossed 24 this tournament.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad.
But he got the rating already, and that's the most difficult part.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I have two norms, and I got 2398.2.
And that doesn't round up to 2400.
And then,
right?
I went down, son.
Also good end to the tournament for young Vigny Wapner Stefansson beating Christiansen with the black pieces.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So who's the top performing Icelandic player then?
I
It's
think
going to be
Hannes.
between,
Johan. Johan
yeah,
is still
but
playing
Johan-
against Fiuja.
Right.
Yeah.
Shall we have a quick look and then we let a man go at board 3, Niels Guandelius against Sabino Brunello, or the other way around anyway.
Yeah.
And the position has changed a bit since we last saw it.
Well, not too much. We reached the time control after rook b6,
Uh-huh.
and then d5. So we felt like, Niels has been slightly better throughout, but
Yeah, Niels is playing black. Okay, he
Yeah.
also has the a-pawn. This is
Yeah.
this should be quite good. But the issue with these endgames is like you can never calculate every variation.
Yeah,
it feels
yeah.
like so some of the variations you just have to trust your instinct on. There are so many checks to consider. For example,
As we speak, White has just played King G5, escaping
yeah,
the checks for now.
oh, he's going for the touchdown defense.
yeah. Oh man, these can be so annoying because if you feel like you're missing a mate every turn or something.
Yeah.
But actually, White, if he plays like G4, King G6, G5, it's surprisingly getting a nice escort down the board. I quite honestly have not an idea what's going on, but D6 looks like a kind of important move maybe
Yeah.
next for White if he has any time. And I assume that Black will be playing things like, either Queen C1 check looks like a decent start. And okay,
Or something, maybe rook. Or
yeah.
Does White want to swap the queens, or does White want
I
to keep the queens on?
It's a tough question, actually. I think if Queen F4 there, then I would have just taken on C3.
yeah.
So I don't have to answer the question.
Yeah.
But,
Okay, let's swap the question to in general.
Yeah, no, I think Black should be or White should be fine with a queen trade because you've got the king and pawn seem to be working together a lot better than Black's a pawn and his king. If you trade the queens, then White's king should be better in the endgame.
Question from Chess Gremlin: why isn't Aman's hair purple?
There's definitely not visible on camera, but there's
yeah, I can see it.
a few strands, like 3 hairs that are maintaining their position at the table.
As a fan of the color purple, I'll vouch for it.
But the next haircut, I think it's gone for sure, unless I have.
Do you have plans for what's up next?
No plans. Gotta hype it up a little bit, create some enthusiasm, and then maybe something. But I haven't seen my natural hair color in a while, so forgive me if I want to, maybe enjoy that for a bit.
We'll have to all keep an eye on the Chessbrad channel. Final question before you go. There was a cameraman here with you. Is there a vlog coming or something more? What's happening with that?
Yeah, our video editor, one of them, came with us to the tournament, which is the first time that we've ever sort of had that official kind of coverage, which is really nice. So we're hoping to produce a really high quality, not just vlog, but sort of behind the scenes experience about our lives and of course including the tournament, which is why he's here. So
in the unlikely event you aren't a subscriber yet, make sure to subscribe to the Chessbrad on YouTube. Also follow and subscribe on Twitch. Aman, thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you go and enjoy the last night here in Reykjavik. Any plans for the night?
Yeah, well, we're probably doing a Chessbrad meetup. We've always planned to do one at some point in Iceland, and Eric's here as well before we're both off to other tournaments. So sort of one of the only times that we're actually in the same place. So we're planning probably Chessbrad meetup, and then we both have flights tomorrow. So. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Have a great time tonight. And we'll see you online very soon. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
And since you're
dropped my mic.
Yeah,
let me take that mic off.
We're still live. It's all a bit improvised.
The whole thing is live. You know, when does it ever stop?
Exactly.
It never stops. The party never stops.
So
Thank
we'll see you
Aman.
tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for dropping by, Aman.
I'll take this out of your way so you can reconnect.
Ah, very nice.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, so that was Aman Hambleton enjoying his time in Iceland, hopefully. And yeah, back to the action. I didn't expect, all these boards, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They're still going on, yeah.
Still. Maybe we should go back to Johan Hjartarson.
Yeah, my feeling is this should be a draw because, I mean, it's so likely that at some stage, if anybody tries anything, the other side will get the perpetual with the heavy pieces. But yeah, let's go back to
Board 4.
Board 4, which is Alireza against Johan. We have some changes actually.
Let's see it.
So we left it, I'm going to go back to around the time control. The king got into d4. This is where we left it off. A lot of moves actually. Alireza played bishop to e2. The immediate question is what happens if we take the pawn. Probably Alireza had some evil ideas, such as rook check maybe. If bishop d5 we take the knight, if king back.
At least I guess we can take on f6 and take on the
yeah,
e5.
worst case scenario we can do this. But Johan didn't bother with the e4 pawn, he played rook to f8. Rook h6, now he took on e4, now there's no more, there's no bishop on d3, so there are no tactics on d6 anyway. Alireza took, knight to g5, rook d6 check, the king had to pull back, c3. Now maybe finally he might be starting to get this passed pawn on the queen side, but...
In the chat, Prince Squirrel is saying, Jesus, Johan is playing very fast and precise.
Okay, nice. I mean, the guy is
living legend.
And he's so good.
Yeah.
King takes b4. I've been around him now in 2 Olympiads. And his knowledge and feel for the game is just fantastic. And most of his struggles are because of age and stamina maybe.
He stopped playing for quite a long time.
Yeah, and you get older, and he has some health, nothing bad, but he has some health issues, so maybe he struggles with his stamina in long games. But his quality is tremendous, and it goes to show that he is the defending Icelandic Blitz champion,
which is very impressive.
Yeah.
Pragnananda fans out there, he's finished on a win today. Another result just in is Dinara Sadrakasova has won her game. So the women's prize, it's a tie between Dinara Sadrakasova and Suma Aurora.
So looks like Alireza can take the pawn on e5. But
Oh, and Vaishali. We completely forgot about Vaishali.
she had 5 as well.
She is 5 as well, and she is winning
playing Chris
her
Rice.
game.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe we should.
I went
have
out to dinner with Chris last night.
I saw the photos. Like
He,
very
yeah, he
nice,
wasn't optimistic about his
game.
chances in the game. He already played her in, I think, Hastings or something.
For those
and
of you
lost.
who don't know, Vaishali is the older sister of
Yeah.
Pragnananda, and their father is Ramesh Babu. India is one of India's top trainers.
Ah, oh, he's their
So
father, okay.
The talent runs in the family.
Yeah, sometimes.
Ah, that's
But
a good example.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah.
Because she's winning. Okay.
Maybe a very quick look at her game. We haven't seen any of her games throughout the tournament. It's one of the very few games that is still ongoing on the lower boards.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be going on for much longer.
So, yeah, Chris made it to the broadcast, but sorry, Chris.
Let's give him his minute
a
of
loss.
fame.
We went to the restaurant yesterday, which is called Three Frakkar or
I
Three
saw he
Frenchmen.
tried the whale.
And yeah, it was the favorite restaurant of Bobby Fischer. So I actually have to turn down the program a little bit.
Don't
I
say
have so
that.
many,
Too many games.
too many games.
Okay, let's
so
close. We'll restart chess base. Meanwhile, I'll check in on the chat. What's going on in the chat? Nothing's going on in the chat. But 1,663 people. Thank you to each and every one of you. Everyone eagerly waiting to find out who is going to come out victorious. The problem is we probably, in case Gawain doesn't win, which is a very likely scenario, I'm not sure we can tell you who won the tournament because it's going to be decided by Buchholz.
yeah, and that means that all the games have to finish because your opponents, the points that your opponents from previous rounds get, they will count towards your tiebreak.
Yeah, so let's download this position. Let's try again. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games still going, 4 of which are on the top 5 boards.
So yeah, Vaishali sees to stop a pawn. The black king is pretty bad. This looks like it should be over in just a few moves actually.
Yeah.
Not
What
much
do
to
you
look
even
at.
do as
Yeah, there's
black?
no counterplay. Where does the queen go?
The rook is going to come into e7 probably. The knight into e5, and this will be
Yeah,
game
and if you
over.
play like queen f8, that just take on d5, and then rook d8. The pieces are just too passive here.
Yeah.
So this should be game over, which means that Vaishali will join Sue and Dinara.
Yeah, kicking Tanya Sachdev out of the top 3 women prizes.
Yeah, that's
She's been leading throughout the tournament, but last round lost to
it's kind of unfair, but you know,
C'est la vie.
these things happen.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at. No, actually, let's not have a look at that. Okay, let's go there. Board 5, Johan Salomon. It's the night ending we were looking at earlier.
It's still going on?
It's still going on. I mean, it's normal, of course, for Hovhannissian to try for as long as he humanly can, but eventually he'll have to give in and admit this isn't more than a draw.
I mean, the knight is just going to stay here. I mean, he's trying to keep the king away, but eventually you have to go to the knight.
You cannot
And then
checkmate the king with a bare knight.
No, you can't. Even with 2. So,
And just as we speak, he's played king e3.
yeah, king b3, king e3. And once you go closer to the knight.
Oh, okay. Let's leave this one.
Yeah.
Let's go back to board 2. We've had a big development. Board 3, sorry. Brunello against Guandelio.
Get your board Get your board in line, woman!
What did he say?
I don't know.
Apparently I pronounced Buchholz like a pro. Yeah, I am a German speaker.
Buchholz.
Unfortunately. I don't like speaking German, but I do.
So, actually,
Okay,
yeah.
so here, we left the game after
King g5.
White just played king g5. Now black played queen f3, and white responded with rook h4, which apparently is blunder alert.
This is a big threat. So he played rook h4. When Rook e2
Is the move played? Yeah.
makes it very difficult for white to defend g3, so I guess we would have to give it
What
check.
do you mean defend g3?
The queen was defending g3.
Yeah. Ah, sorry, yes. Yow.
Yow. Askat Maskat. Queen d4. Czechoslovakia, I guess. My board is frozen at the moment. Uno momento, por
My
favor.
chat is also frozen. It's all going downhill.
It's all going downhill. And there's a big conference outside disturbing the players.
Rook e2, what's white gonna do? Okay, are we back? King
No, I'm actually frozen. Let's try to shut down some tabs that I don't need on.
I think we'll probably just have to restart chessbase. In my experience, when chessbase has frozen, it's never unfrozen.
That's true.
And it can freeze at very enraging times.
Yeah. Okay. Nope.
Do I have a white hair on camera? Thankfully, we got taken away. I spotted the white hair there. That would not go down well.
You spotted the what?
A white hair. Anyway, let's look at Niels and Sabino on the camera.
Okay, we're restarting our demonstration board.
Yeah. As you can see, the playing hall is already very empty. We are now 4.5 hours into the game.
So queen h8 looked forced, otherwise queen takes d3 check, king a7. And I was wondering if just
queen h8 has been
back.
played.
Yeah, I know.
And
I just rebooted the move. So let's say b6. I don't know. Yeah, b6. And queen. Then d5 drops. Okay. So it's difficult. You can't really defend, can you? Let's say I defend it with the rook. Rook here. How do I further increase the pressure? Maybe even just a simple move like rook here. Jack, rook takes, take on d5.
The king is still very vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think there was a move. What was the move? g4 has been played by...
g4.
So sorry, queen d4, check, b6, g4.
g4 is the current position. And Niels... he could think about queen g3, although rook h7, rook e5. Yeah, the king is starting to look a bit dodgy there, to tell you the truth.
Very dodgy, actually. According to some undisclosed sources,
Yes.
black is winning here.
Yes.
And there's a couple of ways. You just need to activate the rook, and you can do
Yeah.
it both via e8 and e7. And the king is just going to be in too much trouble.
Let's say I play rook h7.
Okay, rook
Yeah, the problem
g8
is rook g8 can't go to
to
the
h4
h-file.
because, and if you go to, yeah, you can't go to the h file, so you have to play rook g7.
Then at worst I can start,
Take.
even though, I mean,
This will still be a lot of work. Too much
still
work.
be a lot of work
too much
because
work, yeah.
the g-pawn is pretty far advanced. So I'm not sure that's the
Black
way to
has
go.
Black has played the rook move, rook e4, not rook e8 or rook e7.
Okay. Promote this.
We should also go back to board 2 because there's been quite a few changes there as well.
Okay. So looks like
Niels
Brunello might be struggling, and Niels would make it to the leader group if he can finish this off with the king in trouble. But there are also other games, and especially board 2. Gawain versus Irvin.
So that has
Should we see? We saw this. Queen takes, pawn takes, rook e2. E2 still allowed him to take because now you can't push e7 because the rook is attacked. So you have to give up the e6 pawn, and now Erwin is just up a pawn in an endgame. Similar to what Gawain had yesterday, and this shouldn't hold.
Especially we mentioned Ervin's technique. I mean, we've been raving about Gawain, but what a win this will be for Ervin. I think Ervin Ervin has been undefeated throughout the tournament. We didn't really have him on our radar, you know, he was never on board 1 or 2, but he played a very solid, very strong tournament.
Yeah, he made the draw in round 3 and 4, and then again in round 6, but now he might be, you know.
He's been winning almost, so he had 5 black games, and if he wins today, he will have won 4 of them, which is quite
okay.
impressive.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
So maybe not his championship form, but very close to it when he won it.
I am nobody really is saying I like Gawain, but today he was totally outclassed. Yeah, it was. It seems to have been a really good game by Ervin Lamy actually. It's hard to even pinpoint where things went wrong, but it just seemed like he gradually increased the pressure.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle game here where I think once he took on c5, I already like, because of the bad light squared bishop, and this bishop never really.
I announced one result
improved.
wrong because our boards.
Let's go back.
Our boards were wrong, I guess. Someone in the chat just pointed out Johann Sebastian Christiansen. Turns out he did lose, but he beat Vignir Vatner.
Oh, okay. Christiansen. Okay, I thought you meant Christiansen, which is Atli. Okay. Then that makes sense.
Yeah,
that would have been a fantastic result for Ricky. Yeah.
So yeah, in the chat, Endless Flame, Johann Sebastian did win his game. If you have any doubts, you can always check the chess results page where the results are correct for sure.
Yeah. How many points does Hannes have now?
Hannes has 6.5.
Oh yeah, okay. So 7 will, 7 is what the winners will have.
I have OCD, so I'm still trying to fix a result from yesterday here.
So we should mention that Tikhon Petrosian won his game. He is also on 7.5.
Yeah, so at the moment 4 players.
No, 7, sorry.
At the moment 4 players on 7. Parligras, Lupulescu, Ariantari and Petrosian. It's very likely Ervin Lamy is going to join them, Niels Guandelius.
Potentially Abhijit Gupta.
Abhijit Gupta. Should we update them?
Yeah, we haven't had a look for a long time. He was up a pawn in a double rook end game. But this looks like draw, maybe. Maybe draw. Rook b6, 3 against 2, same side.
The only problem might be the king on
might
h3.
be some, actually.
Let's not get checkmated.
Let's not get checkmated.
G5.
Wow, actually, hang on.
G5 maybe force.
But why rook b6? Why not rook f6? Oh, he was on f6. It's Sukswan.
Oh.
Well, let's go back a few moves. So he has this, and he plays rook f6 so that on g5 he can take on f5. Maybe even here rook takes, g4, king g6. I'm not sure about the pawn ending, might be winning, but now you just have to move the rook, there's nothing else. And can you now go g5?
G5 will most likely be played. How do we stop the mate?
Do we have to go g4?
Wait.
Wait. No, there's no stalemate. Just trying to find a stalemate trick.
G4 must be the only move.
Yeah, looks like it.
Black.
Yeah, I don't see any
will take that pawn.
tricks. So we have to play here, and we take king g3.
I think black probably has excellent winning chances.
But still, how do we get this king out? Let's say check, king here.
Wait a second.
Maybe g3 at some stage.
Let's go back to board 4. Alireza Firouzja against Johan Hjartarson. Because the pieces, I'll give you the moves. So we left it. Or did you bring it up? I'll just give you the moves we missed.
No, I
didn't look at it yet.
restuffed
Okay.
it, so
Yeah,
might as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. We had when he took on e5 was when we last had it here. And took on e5, king f4. But I thought Johan would get counterplay against h3.
And move by move was the one who informed us that apparently Johan has blundered.
Don't say that. Yeah, that's about the hour when he usually.
And apparently the blunder is here taking on b2 because apparently this endgame is lost.
Really?
But it's very strange, you know. You know how long he spent on rook takes b2? 13 seconds.
Okay.
And he had 25 minutes on the clock, and Alireza is playing on increment.
d6, king d6.
But it's a very strange mistake for someone as experienced for Johan to make if he's, like, at least on paper it looks like he's playing against his opponent's clock. But especially against a player like Alireza, who's such a fast calculator, you know. It's a very dangerous mistake to make, and apparently now after king b5, White is just going to win queen first.
It's that simple. The knight doesn't seem to be on a very good
Square to come back.
not on a good square, not on a good circuit to.
I mean, Johan
move.
hasn't spent more than a minute on a move, barely, for the last 10 moves, which is
So he placed knight f4.
strange.
Maybe he thought it was an easy draw, or maybe he was annoyed with the stupid conference where people can't keep the horse down. So okay, b7, king. Do I have something?
This is actually, this is a draw. Apparently there's only one winning move here, and Alireza has 15 seconds on the clock, but he found it. Knight c4.
Knight c4 first, I have to play king here. And king a6. Don't need that first, probably. Probably king here. But then I bring the knight to e6, so maybe not. b7, king c7, king a6, king b8, knight e5. Is that the way to go? b7, king here, king here.
a6.
You have to go here, and just knight here.
And there was no stopping.
And there are two checks that you can't stop.
Yeah.
Ah, that's unfortunate because Johan
Played a very nice
seemed to be
game,
playing a
yeah.
very nice game, not giving Alireza any.
Yeah. Knight
Any easy
c4, and
chances.
it's probably dawning on him now, at the latest, that this is game over.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave. Maybe we'll keep the camera on this because Alireza is down to his increments, but there isn't even any tricky decisions anymore for him.
No.
I think he found knight c4, which was the only crucial game, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Alireza will join the group on 7 out of 9. It's going to be a probably 7-way tie. I don't know the last time we had such a big group at the top.
7-way tie.
I think so.
We did
And
have.
if Gupta wins, 8-way tie.
Wow.
Which would be insane in the membrane.
Insane in the membrane.
I mean, it's very likely all the games on top are gonna end decisively now.
We did have one
So-
massive tie some years ago. I can't remember it.
By the way, King, the only game that's gonna end in a draw is Salomon against Hovhannissian.
yeah.
But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I predict an 8-way tie.
Okay.
So this is on the board. King d7 and b7 were played, and this game we'll keep
Yeah,
it
it's
on
just
camera because we'll have a handshake shortly. Yeah. So b7.
Oh, not played yet, or
It is
you
played,
played it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And king c7 will be the only move to stop the pawn from queening. And then king a3, a6, sorry, will be game over.
Yeah, I think he might. Well, he plays it just to.
Yeah.
Might as well see it, you know. But
King c7, king a6. We'll probably see a handshake here. The problem is there's no stopping the knight from coming in. The black knight is too badly placed. And I mean, okay, like, it's a heartbreaker for Johan, but very good performance from Alireza, especially very untypical.
Very,
you know, usually
very.
he crushes through early doors, but here he hung in there until the end.
Very resilient.
Yeah.
Carlsen-like, even.
Yeah. It's probably the first endgame we've seen him play in this tournament.
Okay.
Okay.
But okay.
Okay.
Okay, but okay. Maybe Johan resign now. But
Okay, let's keep them on the camera. I mean, we looked at this position. There is nothing else to look at. Let's go back to board 3. Brunello against Niels. We'll keep these guys on the camera because the game will be over very shortly. Let's see. Let's update the Brunello Grandelius game. So we last saw it after rook e4. Then white played queen f6. And we have the handshake there. So Johan did resign after king a6. A big win for Alireza, joining the group, the winners group, on 7 out of 9. We're going to have a massive tie at the top. Once again, so many decisive
I mean, he might even have a
today.
decent tiebreak as well, so I don't know.
Alireza could be a potential tournament winner. We'll have to wait out until all the results are out to announce it. So yeah, back to Niels. So after
Queen f6,
black played queen d3, queen f5, queen e3 check, king g6, rook e5. The black pieces are edging closer and closer, and rook h3.
Aha, trying to
A
defend
little
with
tactic.
tactics. I think he will keep the queen on.
And apparently Majdi is saying that Alireza is a heavy favorite in the Buchholz, so it
Okay.
could be that
Yeah,
Alireza
that's well
becomes
possible.
the Reykjavik Open
Because
winner.
I thought that him playing against the Kazakh player would hurt him, but he did win in the last round, so might be
We'll
okay.
have to wait and find out. But yeah, this position, rook h3. And Niels has taken, and queen takes e5. But he's finally going to pick up this g-pawn, and queen takes g4 is on the board.
And then probably, no, okay. Yeah.
So the thing is, if he can force the queen exchange, which I don't see how you're going to do, but still this queen ending, I think the king is so safe on a7. You're never going to be able to even give it, like, let's say I just put the queen on c4 and push the a-pawn, what are you going to do? Okay, you'll have to push d6. Actually, I need to be careful about that. But Niels is going to win this game one way or another, and also join the winners on 7.
Yeah, let's say, I don't know, king f6 or like king f7 better, but okay. Okay, but okay.
Another result just in Kasakorli, winning his last
Probably,
round game against Peter. So a fantastic tournament for Kasakorli, and that's probably another GM norm. 6.5 out of 9 for Kasakorli.
It's hard to even move the king, because if you go to f7, I'll give you a check. And then I just put the queen on d6, and the trade, I will queen the a-pawn. And if you go to f6, probably just queen here, and d6 I can play here. And then just take, etc. So yeah, looks like Niels is just going to win the game, I think.
A very fighting effort today at the top.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd get so much blood. I've had, of course, a few decisive results here and there, but not as many.
But the players were kind of forced, because if you just make a draw, you're just gonna miss out with so many people
and
able to go to 7.
Niels just showed recently. He's very good. He also won his last round game in the European Championship,
That's true.
where he got the silver medal. The Vaishali result is wrong on chess 24. I'm certain she has won her game against Chris Rice.
Unless her phone went off. But
Yes.
that's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Let's just get confirmation on chess results, see if the results are up. Yeah, she has won her game against Chris Rice. So that means only 5 games still underway. Gawain Jones against Erwin Lamy, Sabino Brunello against Niels Grandelius, Johan Salomon against Hovhannissian, the Guptas, and finally Justin Sarka against Nikola Djukic, which we haven't had a chance to look at.
No, I mean they're completely out of contention, so I think we'll just focus on the games that
Nikola
matter,
Djukic
and
is
Djukic
completely
is just winning.
Okay, back to the top board, maybe.
Maybe, and we will. Yeah, I didn't have. Okay, I have it here. H4 on move 54.
So after H4, Black took on H4, King takes, Knight G6, King H5, Knight F4, King H4, King D4, sorry, A5, B takes A5, Rook A7, Rook D5, Bishop C6, Knight G6 check, and King H3. Time is gonna start becoming an issue. Time is actually also an issue in the Brunello game. The games have been going on so long. Okay, so on this board, 6 minutes for Gawain Jones, 4 minutes for Erwin Lamy. So we're probably just gonna stick with boards 2 and 3 now.
Yeah. I think we can write off Salomon against Hovhannissian. You need a massive blunder. It's just a draw, I think.
Let's see.
And yeah, and Abhijit Gupta was trying to win, although maybe his opponent, the other Gupta, has the potential to just keep his king boxed in.
Black played Knight E5 here. Okay, so let's just.
Oh, what? No, someone will Rook G5 first.
Oh, sorry.
And Rook takes A5 and Knight E5. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so still a pawn up for Black.
Yeah, now he will start pushing.
Yeah.
Bishop somewhere. Where to put it? I mean, this has been the story of the game. The light squared bishop. It was really bad, and even now, with the board opened up, it doesn't
let's
have.
keep this camera view actually, where you can see the top, where you can see both the Jones and the Brunello game, because Niels Grandelius is making steady progress, and I predict he's going to be the first of the top boards to win his game. Actually, can we have a very quick update on Brunello Grandelius?
Okay.
Please. So
Up.
after
Queen takes G4,
Queen
yeah?
takes G4, White played King F6,
Queen C4, I
Queen
guess.
C4 as we predicted, King E7, and now we start pushing the A pawn, A4, and King D8 is on the
We
board.
still can't push. Well, we can actually, can we? I thought we would play Queen C5, but maybe we can push. Maybe we just take Queen takes C3, and it's 2 pawns. So he plays King D8.
Yeah, and Black is thinking, but most likely he will continue, and he's about to make a move. The time situation here is also more critical. 1 minute for White, 3 minutes for Black. So what happens if we just push the pawn to A3?
Push him, baby. Queen takes, king takes, A2, D6, power up D7. Okay, we have to look at this first.
Yeah.
What is? Well, we take on C3 with check, so this is winning immediately. Then we just take the pawn.
Yeah.
No.
No messing.
No messing about here. So can't take on C7, so why not A3? And these calculations will take about 2 to 3 seconds for Niels.
He's under 3 minutes now. But shouldn't be such a big issue.
Yeah, why not A3? D6 doesn't do anything. Maybe. Queen D3, D7. So we probably have to take. Still, the king looks safe on a6 if like any checks. So I guess we take the pawn. Queen c5, covering
Niels
everything.
decided to play it safe. No a3. He went king b7.
Yeah, just covering. No shenanigans, just covering the c7 pawn. And then he'll push. You don't need to risk it for the biscuit, because there is no biscuit.
Does white have any? He probably has to push d6 if he wants to get any sort of counter chances.
But then we take, queen takes, queen c8, king e7, queen c7, game over. So black seems to have everything under control. I don't see how.
15 seconds for Brunello.
Yeah, he isn't
Answers,
finding
9
anything,
seconds,
so he
yeah.
just has to basically make
He
any
will
move.
play d6.
Maybe queen
I
e6.
think. Yeah, you are correct. Nikola Djukic, the only game that was still
A3.
going that we hadn't seen, has
Yeah,
won his
won
game
against
against
Sarkar.
Justin Sarkar.
So a3, queen, takes.
So the last 4 games on the live boards are all on the leader group.
Yeah.
All the games are between players on 6 points. Yeah, queen e6, but now nothing is really stopping.
No, I think we
Niels.
can push now, and just we all basically had to look at the variation if white takes on c7. Even if it's with check, it's the same variation. We just queen take on c3, then eliminate the pawn around here and push the other one. So white doesn't have any counter chances.
I think
to
we'll
speak
still
of.
stick with this
Yeah.
game because 2 minutes for Guandelius, 30 seconds for Brunello. Yesterday I missed the handshake, but this time I'll put my money on this game to be the next to be over.
We already got one. We got the
Ali
Johan.
Reza is still there in the crowd, watching on. I wonder if he's familiar with the Buchholz or his chances to win the tournament.
Yeah, I think it's just rooting for whoever he played to win.
That's a good point. A3 is on the board.
For instance, he did not play against Niels, did he?
No, he did not.
So Niels played against Gupta.
He also did not play again. Did not play.
No,
against
so this
Brunello.
game doesn't even matter for him.
Yeah.
Okay, queen c8, but yeah, doesn't do anything.
Queen c8,
Unfortunately.
king
Well, he can play
a7.
d6 though, but I just give a check.
He played
And again,
d6
game
now.
over.
Yeah.
Now queen g8, king d7, queen takes c8, and c takes d6, resigns. Probably queen g8 check, resigns.
Apparently Mashti has done the maths and he said Lupulescu will be first and Aliweza second because the Hovhannissian game is a dead draw. That's his prediction. Yeah, I think it will be very close. I don't want to risk making any predictions. Queen g8 is on the board and I think we'll probably see a handshake here. He will not play another move. Surely
No,
not.
I mean, why? What for?
Yeah.
Well, he does a king takes c7, but it just transposes to our line. King takes c7, queen takes c8, a2, d7, a8, a1, queen, and then take on c3 check.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Let's-
actually one tempo behind, but we give a check on the d file and pick up the queen, and then queen the b pawn.
Let's stick with this one. It's not gonna go on much longer.
I think he'll play that actually, because even if you can calculate it, you're missing it by one tempo. Why not play it out?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. There we go. King takes c7 is on the board.
Play the grab. MVL streaming.
And this
see you
has
guys
all
later.
been
Fair
played.
enough.
This has all been played already.
Yeah. And it's minus a million, I guess.
It's minus mate in
It's minus mate in 20.
Queen takes c3. Oh, actually, I'm struggling because my broadcast is lagging, but queen c3 is on the board.
Yeah, so this takes. Here, d7. It almost, doesn't have to be played out.
Yeah. I think probably there's been a handshake already because I'm so much lagging behind. And there has been a handshake.
Yep,
there we go.
is.
Congratulations to Niels Grandelius, who becomes the 6th player to join the tie at the top.
Yeah. And the first loss for Brunello, and very bad timing for that loss.
Last rounds are painful.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is over. Now we can focus on board 2, Gawain Jones. By the way, we finally had a draw between Johan Salomon and Hovhannisyan. So these two are out of contention. So what's happening now is only Gawain Jones, well, he can still win the tournament on his own, but he's not going to win this position unless something dramatic happens. So either Gawain, if he can hold a draw, will join the tie, or Erwin Lamy, if he can win. And actually, Abhijit Gupta has just won the rook ending against Prithu Gupta. So Abhijit becomes player number 7 to join the lead, and Gawain Jones against Erwin Lamy is the last game going
Maybe
on
a quick
the
look
live boards.
at how Gupta finished.
Yeah, sure.
Because we weren't really sure. After rook b6 on move, 55?
I am nobody really with the conspiracy theories in the chat. I think the two Guptas made a deal, suddenly loses a dead drawn ending. I very highly doubt that. I mean, it's very easy to lose this ending. I mean, with the engine, it might be easier.
Yeah, first we looked at g5, but we figured that the king gets into trouble if g5, g4, and getting the king out is simply not easy, because this will always hang. So what he did was instead, he played king to g5, and then h5. So let's see, king g5, rook c6, h5. Rook b6, rook e2, rook a, and h4, right? Yeah. And he managed to simplify from here. I'm actually going to just download it. I think it's easier than going back and forth.
Point.
So h4, rook b6, king h5. And white never takes on h4 because check. I mean, he will just win the pawn on h4, and then you have a good version with a passed f pawn. Yeah, but he can take this, and it's game over, because if you take f4, and the pawn ending is winning, so this means that we win the pawn on g3. So yeah, nice conversion by Abhijit Gupta.
Yeah. So let's go back to the most important game of the round. It's the last one still going on the live board, so we'll stick with that until the bitter end. Is Erwin Lamy going to convert his pawn up is the big question.
Yeah, well,
Time
if
situation.
Gawain holds on, then very importantly, he's in the joint lead.
Yeah, Erwin Lamy is down to 30 seconds, Ingvar.
And the pawn is under attack on c3. Is this enough?
Okay, so after rook c5, black played h5.
Okay, very importantly, we cannot take it because maiden won.
What is your prediction for this game?
I'm starting to think it's a draw. Because let's say bishop f5, and this defends tactically because there's a pin here on the 5th rank. Now we only have one pawn to worry about, and if we can free our bishop, we'll put it on this diagonal, sacrifice it, and it's an easy draw.
It would be very impressive.
Which would be very impressive defense by
Gawain.
Gawain, indeed.
Okay, so let's have another look. So, okay, we showed that we cannot take. So, what's white gonna do after h5?
I think bishop f5.
He started
Bishop
defended
d1,
from the back. He went bishop d1.
The same idea, but now we're threatening to take on h5, so maybe black actually has to take now on g4. And then
okay, so
what
this
about-
happened.
what about,
this happened. He
yeah.
took on g4. Bishop takes g4 is on the board.
what about the rook ending? Are we in time here? Rook takes rook c4. Oh, hang on a minute.
I'd be very impressed if we weren't in time. Very, what did I say? Surprised. But we're silly. We'll take on c3.
We take on c3, of course. Yeah, wow. Wow. Yeah, and this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Rook against rook and knight, which is an easy draw. He'll play it on for
I mean, if we get to that ending, I'm not even sure. Are we gonna stay here until the bitter end and watch 50 moves of rook knight?
No, if it's rook and knight against rook.
But he hasn't done that, obviously, and he has gone for rook.
I think this is more or less the
Rook
last
g8
trick. If rook
instead.
takes c3, then rook h8, bishop h5, and again checkmate.
But what happens? Yeah, Gawain has taken on e5. What happens to that free piece?
Oh, hang on a minute. Takes on
So
e5.
rook h8 check is on the board, and bishop h5. Okay, it's just gonna be a draw now. c2.
Yeah, c2 rook here. Well, then there's rook check though,
Yeah.
so be careful. c2.
Careful. c2, rook e2 check.
Rook e2 check, yeah, of course. And then we
And then we go home. What
and
a
we can shake hands and go home.
What a defense by Gawain Jones. Very impressive stuff.
That's crazy. So this is the last game to finish, right?
Very disappointing because Erwin is gonna miss out on the tie
Yeah.
at the top.
And he's going to move down to what, seventh or eighth?
So to wrap this up, we will have a handshake in a second. This game will end in a draw. So we will have in the joint lead Parligras, Lupulescu, Gawain Jones, Niels Guandelius, Alireza Firouzja, Aryan Tari, Tigran Petrosian, and Abhijit Gupta. 8 players.
Yeah, but wow, Lamy will be so upset.
Yeah.
It looked like he was just completely winning.
Yeah.
But great defense.
Life is tough.
Yes. There are no gifts.
King e2 is on the board. And actually, I'm surprised. Were there no easier ways to the draw? Of course, it's still an easy draw.
Yeah, c2, rook
looks
e2, king
very
f1 was much
disappointed.
easier. So
Understandably so, but kudos to Gawain holding on to his 2700 rating
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
process.
most importantly, perhaps.
He's probably now after king e2. Let's just put the last moves on the board.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
So
go back.
what happened is
Took
that
on. No, he played rook g8.
yeah, rook g8, rook takes
Rook
e5.
takes e5. And he,
Rook
he
h8,
gave a check.
bishop h5.
And he took on h5.
He took immediately, yeah.
And then king e2.
And rook c5 and king d2.
And Gawain will just.
Take a few minutes to make sure he can't win. But there is no way.
No.
King is too far removed.
Ah,
And
he
there
just-
we
he
go,
just took.
handshake. Down to bare kings on board too. What a
Yeah, that's a good way
game.
to end the battle, I guess.
Yeah.
With a big tie.
We're now in the unpleasant situation of having to bid you guys goodbye without knowing who's won the tournament.
Most likely, people are saying Lupulescu will have.
Yeah,
The
Lupulescu
best
or
tiebreaks.
Alireza are probably the bests, but 8 players tying for first. I've just named them all a second ago, so I'm not going to do it again. I think we're going to leave you guys because the closing ceremony starts in an hour 20, so
Yeah.
we need to get ready and have lunch, more importantly. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ingvar, for being such a great co-commentator.
Thank you, Fiona.
to our producers, Stully today,
Stully
but
and Helgi.
the rest of the team. And last, but of course, thank you to the sponsors, especially Gamma, the main sponsor, but also all the other sponsors.
Glacial.
Icelandic Water. Thank you to all the people working so hard behind the scenes, all the arbiters. Shout out to Gunnar, the tournament director. And last but certainly not least, a big thank you to you guys who are here with us every single day.
Yeah, a lot of people showed up every day.
So it's been great fun. Enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.